Hey,
Yeah, all right, there we go. What, you want to do the intro today, Addy?
I need to do my mix-ups. You'll never see it coming.
Oh, damn it. You're referencing dumbass Japanese video game memes without even knowing of them. You've ascended to a new
Why?
level.
Why? What game is it a reference to, or what Japanese meme is it a reference to?
Persona 5.
Ah,
Okay, so today, hey, it's the Shut Your Mouth Lounge. I'm Alex, that's Addy. We got Pink here,
Hey there.
and we got Volcano here.
Hey.
It's episode 67. We're recording it on the 16th, but it'll come out on the 17th. Ordinarily, we'd get spooked about saying, oh, hey, when we're going to get a recording, because sometimes things get recorded and don't come out for half a year. Sometimes things get recorded and come out the very next day. This is one of those things that comes out the very next day. Why?
it's pretty much the only thing that comes out the very next day.
Because I don't put passion into my editing like Addy does. You see,
Yeah,
Addy's the painter who goes in and makes this really detailed work of life art. I'm the artist with quotations around it who throws shit at a easel and then sends it in.
No, I'm the painter who goes in and then just repaints the Mona Lisa with a mustache.
But it's an intricately drawn mustache, an intricately
Yeah.
painted mustache. And for some reason, there's Linkin Park playing in the background.
The Mona Lisa is at the Linkin Park concert.
It's good to have you happy, Addy, because you're gonna get angry in just a second. I can feel it with this topic.
No, I heard about it
So,
already.
Sega is halting all shipments and digital sales of Judgement in Japan because one of the actors who took part in it, Pierre Taki, was arrested for allegedly using cocaine. Now, over here in America, we wouldn't give a shit. It's like, oh, congratulations, I'm pretty sure half the cast is on cocaine. But in Japan, that's apparently some serious shit. Apparently that's just a regular thing that if one of the actors is caught with drugs, it can ruin the entire project. Could you?
Yeah, that's a Japanese thing. Evan Bourne, I think, was in jail for like a week because he had marijuana vape with him.
And they
Done.
deported him, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not allowed to wrestle in Japan anymore.
Right, they're like really strict on this stuff. It's
like it's an unpopular opinion, but I actually agree with Japan more on this. Like, I think that they go too far. Sure, yeah.
yeah, there needs to be balance.
Like they go too far, but I think they are closer to the right way to go about this thing.
I'm perfectly fine with them being. They can be hard on the actor for using cocaine or heroin. Like if it's cocaine or heroin or anything serious, it's like he should probably be seriously punished because that thing should be discouraged. But firstly, the whole project getting shut down is punishing not only the actor but everyone involved. And I know Japan has a whole thing where like American and European society tends to be very individualist, which on the downside it means we tend to say fuck society, I'm going to do what I want. On the upside, it means that generally people don't get blamed for the actions of their friends, family, or coworkers. In Japan, you get blamed for that shit.
They get blamed for the actions of their friends, family, and cocaine.
Yeah. I mean, there's a certain line here, like Evan Bourne getting deported for marijuana. I mean, it is illegal, and that is a problem inherently that you did something illegal.
You did something illegal across state borders.
And I mean, I don't particularly care for Evan Bourne, so I'm not going to be, standing up for him really here. But Japan probably there needs to be like a scale here. If every drug is as bad as cocaine, no drug is bad as cocaine.
Yeah, like in my opinion, the best way to go about this would be to if you get caught with like small drugs like weed, then you're just fired.
Yeah.
Like that's the hardest that you can get punished for it.
If you're Japanese,
If it's illegal, a year in jail, a year or two in jail. But you shouldn't be getting more than pedophiles or killers. You definitely shouldn't be
Yeah,
getting more than pedophiles
definitely.
or killers.
Yeah. But at the same time, I will say if Evan were a Japanese performer, the jail time would be all right. But he is an American performer performing in Japan, so I actually agree with his deportation. He broke a law in another country. He shouldn't be allowed that country anymore.
I mean, yeah, that is how international law works.
Precisely.
So that if you get caught with a harder drug, then your career is ruined. You won't be able to work as easily anymore. But still, it's not the project. Like only if you kill someone without remorse. I think should your
Without remorse.
I mean, for a foreign worker here, you could probably Evan Bourne could have been doing coke, and they deport him, and it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go do coke in America. So I mean, it's pretty much only for a Japanese guy. That's gonna be too much of a problem. But
Yeah.
Right.
I think this is actually the second time Yakuza's had to deal with this. Cause
Yeah,
in
Yakuza 4's re-release also removed a guy for doing coke as well.
I think it turned out he didn't actually do coke. He was only accused by another actor, but it destroyed his career anyways.
Ah,
But yeah, that was the exact same thing. That character was permanently taken out of the series. He's never been in any game other than Yakuza 4. And in the new, it's only supposed to be an HD remaster, the re-releases of Yakuza 4 on new generation consoles. But they are actually going back and replacing that entire actor's presence in the game. Because the character was modeled after the actor, so they have to go in and make a new model for him. They have to go in and have a new voice actor replace all of the previous lines. Like, holy shit, Japan. Like,
It's a lot of work.
nah.
yeah, there was also
Like, we haven't taken Marlon Brando or Woody Allen out of the shit they've been in. And, like, God knows what they did back in the day. Like, nah. I feel really bad for everyone involved in this project except for Pierre Taki. Because, I mean, yeah, Pierre Taki's getting to what's coming to him and all that, but, I mean, could you imagine...
if he actually did coke.
If he actually did it, well, supposedly he's been arrested. It's not just, like, other actors spreading rumors like it was with Tanamura. This is actually the actor's been arrested.
Ah, yeah. If it's proven that he actually did coke, then yeah, good riddance. But
Innocent until proven guilty, though. Yeah, innocent until proven guilty. But I feel bad for, like, the director or something, because, like, this could screw up the game's entire PR plan. Because they might just, with how Japan takes this stuff so harshly, they might just delay the game to replace Pierre Taki with someone else. Which would add, like, a couple months onto the development schedule.
just replace him with Kiryu. Replace whoever he was with Kiryu.
I mean, that'd be awesome, but no. I don't think that would work. Especially considering looking at this guy in the pictures, this guy already looks like evil, you know?
Ah,
This guy looks like Kuze, but, you know, this time you aren't the Yakuza. So now
Yeah.
it's just a villain from the start. So, making Kiryu a full-bore villain, I don't think would work.
depends.
The Yakuza series as a whole has been desperately trying to make it like, Kiryu's a Yakuza, but he's not a bad guy. And that would fuck it up bad. Like, oh yeah, Kiryu killed that guy, but he's still cool.
Okay, Kiryu didn't kill them. They were the bullets.
Yeah. Kiryu didn't kill that guy, the microwave did.
Yeah,
Kiryu didn't kill that guy, the helicopter blades did.
Kiryu didn't kill that guy. The nuke did.
Yeah. Oh. Oh man. Hopefully everything just turns out fine. I don't know. It's cultural differences, I guess.
Also, speaking of the innocent until proven guilty thing, in literature class, we actually discussed things like this because, you know, it comes up in literature somewhat. And the literature teacher had to explain what innocent until proven guilty is because they thought it was the other way around.
Most people do, let's be fair here.
Yeah, that is well, most people don't think innocent till proven guilty or guilty till proven innocent. Most people just are like, do I like this person? If yes, innocent. If not, guilty. And it doesn't matter what the sentencing is, what the evidence says, they already decided a long time ago.
That is also very true.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to talk about Michael Jackson on this podcast, but who? We'll talk about Michael Jackson later, believe it or not. He came up.
Yeah, just wait until Sonic.
Oh no. Oh my God. You guys know what's crazier than Michael Jackson?
I don't have the slightest clue.
People who play Dwarf Fortress.
What is Dwarf Fortress?
Oh my God, you don't know what Dwarf Fortress is. Okay.
I haven't the slightest clue.
Addy, do you know what Dwarf Fortress is?
I saw gameplay, and by gameplay I mean I saw text.
Volcano, do you know what Dwarf Fortress is?
No.
Okay, so Dwarf Fortress is a game that I want to say is nearing 20 years old now. It is considered a classic hardcore PC kind of city builder strategy type game. You know, it's so old and yet so advanced that the original game, which by the way is up for complete free, and one of us could just go grab it right now, and in fact I have considered doing a recording of it at a couple points, just for the giggles. It is in, the free version is entirely in ASC2. It has been
ASCII.
It has been in development since 2002 and was released in 2006. Development has not stopped since 2002. This game has been worked on for 17 years, and the developers are genuinely just not stopping. It's a team of 5 dudes, and this is their passion project. This is what they do with their lives. And they are now offering to sell it on Steam because they are now developing healthcare issues, and they need to pay for it. So they can't the ASC2 version is still going to be for free, and now they're offering a version that's actual gameplay. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen a picture of what the original ASC2 version of Dwarf Fortress looks like. Let me find a screenshot. But it's charming in its own way. I'll say that. So here's a map of the here's a game world map in the actual game, and it is right here. Now, if you zoom in on that picture, you'll see it's entirely formed up of, spades and omegas and just lines, right?
Right.
That looks miserable.
You get used to it eventually. I did play it a decade ago, probably. It probably would have been 10 years ago. I had a lot of fun with it, but it's very complicated. So what this game does is you start up a game, and it generates an entire fantasy world using quite possibly the most advanced random generation engine in the history of gaming. I mean, it just absolutely mind the pun, but it dwarfs Minecraft, right? It generates not only the landscape, it generates the countries that inhabit it, the societies, the towns, the cultures, the people that live inside them. Each person has a name and what they do with their life and everything. It generates a history for each of the nations. It generates, what time period it is. It generates what wildlife inhabits each of the areas. And then it says, all right, now you just pick one of these. You see each of these little letters here. Each and every one of these squares is one of the possible places you can pick to build your fortress. And you can retain the same save and build several fortresses in this world. And time will pass over the course of gameplay, and your fortress and its effects, it will affect the course of history in your game. And I believe that a couple of years back, they also added an adventure mode where you could play as a human or an elf or a dwarf, and just go out and have D&D type adventures in this world, in the same world you can build dwarf fortresses in. And it develops into this crazy, insane world-building project that is absurdly ambitious, and unlike most absurdly ambitious indie projects, the fact that it's entirely in ASC2 means that it's actually gotten done. There are a lot of PC games that are infamous for, their crazy hardcore fan bases of, everybody knows about Arma, right? the Arma games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those games are like for the crazy PC hardcore gamer types, right? Because they're shooters, but they're extremely realistic. The Arma fan base balks at this, you know? You get in there and you build your whole fortress, and you can have all these kinds of different economics, and each of the dwarfs has their own personality, and all kinds of crazy shit. And a lot of the times the fun comes from just how stupid it can get. Particularly when things start going very, very poorly. And the dwarfs start losing their minds and killing each other. I'm trying to find
Can Dwarf Gandhi drop a nuke on the world?
I wouldn't exactly say that, though I'd say something very similar to it. Because it's also possible for you to dig so deep that you dig into hell, and then Cthulhu comes out.
Why is it recurring in this channel?
Why am I just now hearing about this?
I'm kind of amazed you haven't heard about it. It's one of the most insane things in video games. So, and when you break
Yeah,
into...
the Moonlord just comes back in for some reason into the freaking existence.
And it, by the way, it's not like usual video game Cthulhu's. Because usual video game Cthulhu's can be beaten, right?
Right.
Which kind of misses the purpose of Cthulhu. Yeah, Dwarf Fortress, those Cthulhu's can't be beaten. If you dig too deep, it's time to just wall off that part of the fortress. It belongs to Cthulhu now. You just
But since they cannot be beaten, can they be eaten?
No. I mean, you can try, but I don't want to know what kinds of cancer Cthulhu meat would give you.
The best kinds.
Tentacle cancer.
Yeah.
Alright, so here is a picture of what an actual Dwarf Fortress looks like in gameplay. Now, this is a very small one. But
okay.
do you see the little smiley faces every now and then?
Yeah.
Those are your dwarfs. And they try to use ASC2 to resemble all kinds of stuff. Like, the pluses are like paved floors. You see the little brown platforms with two sticks under them? Those are tables and chairs.
Oh.
You gotta go to the extent of making dining rooms and storage rooms and all kinds of crazy shit. So this is the craziest game in existence for crazy people. And you guys can probably see now why I was considering recording this, just for the insanity of it. The game is particularly infamous for one Let's Play called Boat Murdered, where they handed the save file off. Each person would play for a year, and then they'd hand off the save file to the next guy. And for a series of about 14 years, in-game years, by the way, obviously not real-life years, in-game years, it got handed off. And it started off fairly simple with them digging into the side of a mountain and setting up their little fortress. And for whatever reason, they did it in a jungle. And the jungle's entire population was comprised of elephants. Just elephants, nothing else. The elephants, apparently, because this game has an adaptive AI system, the elephants and the dwarves started getting into fights, and the elves evolved a taste for dwarf blood. And the elephants basically waged a massive siege on the dwarf fortress. Everything went to hell. Hell broke in. And then there was a small child with supernatural powers that caused everything to go to shit.
So, Stranger Things.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember that
elephants.
Where the elephants sieged Indianapolis. Oh man, Stranger Things got weird in season 3.
Oh hey, completely unrelated to the topic at hand, but Nobushi can become Jason Voorhees.
That is completely unrelated to the topic at hand. Okay, here's the I'll just leave off this with here's the craziest thing I've heard about Dwarf Fortress. A person at some point figured out they made a little shaft, they made a pyramid, and then they made an elevator shaft going straight up, and then a little drop over the pyramid. And the dwarves all lived in and around the pyramid, so they started taking their enemies like goblins and kobolds and shit, and dropping them on top of the pyramid as like a fucked up sacrifice. Well, when the goblin or kobold hits the point of the pyramid, they explode into blood and gore, right? Well, it kept showering the dwarfs living in the pyramid, living around the pyramid, in blood, The adaptive AI caused the dwarfs to form a blood cult and worship it, and started just sacrificing the goblins and kobolds that way themselves, without the player telling them to. That's a hell of a way to scare off any enemies, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Don't
Got a
mess with
giant
us or we're gonna
pyramid.
drop you on a pyramid.
It became a blood cult.
You don't need to scare them off if they're already your shower water.
That's saving water. That's good for the environment. Environment-friendly dwarfs. They've got really good connections with the elves. So that's a delightful bit of gaming insanity. And for the next topic, this is just a little bit of interesting news. So we all like to see games ported to every other console possible, right?
Right.
Right.
Well, it keeps going. The Master Chief Collection for Halo is getting ported to PC. To Steam specifically. And this is kind of surreal. Because, I mean, Halo Wars, you guys know the Halo Wars strategy games have already been ported to PC, right?
Yeah.
And that makes a certain degree of sense, because you pretty much have to put strategy games on PC, you know? But this is a genuine shocker, because Halo, like, I think we'd have all figured Halo's going to stay on Xbox forever, Mario's going to stay on Nintendo forever, and so on and so forth. And here we are with Halo on PC. I don't
Wasn't
imagine...
Halo already on PC? Because
No.
I remember playing Combat Evolved.
No, I don't believe Combat
On
Evolved was ever
on
on
PC.
PC. Let me look it up. I believe the original 3 Gears of Wars were eventually released for PC. But obviously, none of us here are... Well, I like Halo casually, but I have not beaten any of the games. I'm pretty sure Addy can say he actively despises Halo.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Halo was on Microsoft Windows and Mac. Why was it on
I
Mac?
told you.
Why
No
was it...
idea.
What?
That's their competitor.
Eat that sweet, sweet Master Chief money.
I guess so. I consider this more so just good news for porting. You know? The more platforms the game is available on, the better. Unless it's a shitty HD remaster. Oh. Yeah, Addy, have you played Silent Hill since we tried to record and failed?
No.
You should go ahead and do that.
I actually did it.
Oh my god. But we could have talked about how bad the HD remaster is. Those are good games, Addy, except for the HD remaster. You gotta play a good game with an shitty HD remaster. It's like getting a chocolate cake, but the icing is just dog shit. So there's some news
I don't
that
know.
we are not interested in ourselves, but it's hopefully portents of the future, you know?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Would you call the freaking Ezio trilogy shitty remasters since they recently just put in better textures and a new lighting rig and that's it?
I
They
would.
didn't fix bugs or shit.
I wouldn't call it a shitty remaster. No, if it's a straight port. Did they introduce bugs?
No.
Okay, then I'd say it's a decent remaster. It's not a great one. Because, I mean, you go over to Kingdom Hearts and they add entire new stretches of the game, you know.
Yeah, and they're actually kind of doing that with 3.
Really?
I think there might be I think they said that they might be adding in the parts that were cut from the original back in.
Oh, interesting. What was cut from the original?
Connor's character. Like his actual character.
Okay. Are you being sarcastic or are you being genuine?
Half genuine. Like there's genuinely parts that got cut out that gave Connor more of a character.
Okay, that is actually a big enough change that I think that could partially redeem Assassin's Creed 3 from the biggest complaint people had about it.
Yeah.
Me personally, I always enjoyed 3's gameplay, but at the same time, I had so little interest in the story, I didn't bother finishing it. So that might be the way to fix it.
I just dislike the changes they made to the parkour system, but that's not gonna change.
Yeah,
Because they said that they made it so it's more responsive, but it feels less responsive to me.
it
The
feels
fighting
better.
system got better. That's fair though.
It feels better in the forests for tree parkour, but it did feel a little worse on buildings. Now, remind me of something. Did they make it where Hatham couldn't do tree parkour?
Yes, you
I-
you jumped on a tree and then he jumped off.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was great. That was a nice little touch. So
I
here's
think
some.
that. Oh right, also with the. Sorry for cutting you off and putting in wordless shit, but they're not just remastering the third game, but you also get Liberation with it. That's also
Oh,
remastered. Yeah.
did they ever? They did release Liberation for consoles eventually, didn't they?
Yes, Liberation HD was on 360 and PS3.
Is Liberation the only Assassin's Creed you've just genuinely never touched in any way? Because
I
I know
played the
there's
demo.
Freedom Cry, but Freedom Cry is pretty much just an addition to Black Flag.
No, Odyssey is the one I genuinely never touched with editing. Because Liberation I downloaded the demo for, and I was like, maybe I'll try this out. And then I went back and played through it again, and I didn't like the freaking cloth system. So I didn't buy it after all.
You don't like Hitman?
It wasn't really Hitman. It wasn't, here's all these clothing. It was, here, choose between being actually being able to move and being stealthy. Like, Agent 47 acts the same in any clothing that he has. Evelyn doesn't. I mean, to be fair, she does wear like a freaking, I don't know, like half a mile long dress, so it's understandable, but still.
I don't know. I think it'd be pretty funny if she could kill people dressed like that.
She can. You have a hidden. Well, you have the hidden blade, and then you also have a hidden sword, I think, or something, an umbrella when you're in the dress.
Okay, I think that's cool. Doing that Setsuka shit, I think that's cool.
Yeah, the Setsuka part was fine. The part I didn't like is how you couldn't parkour in it. Which, as I said, understandable, but still, from a gameplay standpoint, I don't like it.
I mean, if she parkours in it, she should be able to do like Peach and Mario Brothers and glide using it.
Yeah.
Back in the day, didn't they have like it was pretty much an iron cage underneath that to keep it up, to keep the skirt up? Okay.
Well, I'm not sure if it was an iron cage or if it was the freaking whatchamacallit they use today.
I want it to be iron so that there could be a move where she uses it as a weapon. And it would probably just be an ass slam like Naomi used to do in WWE, but still.
Yeah, the rear view.
She could do it to multiple people at once with the whole skirt.
Yeah.
It's a crowd control move. Alright, and so the second trailer for Avengers Endgame has released. And who here has watched it?
Oh, I have.
So they're still trying to avoid showing some stuff, but we got a little bit.
We got Hawkeye's new stupid mohawk.
We did
That was pretty rad.
Isn't he Ronin in this?
Addy, you go first.
Isn't Hawkeye Ronin in his?
He
in
is.
this? Can he just turn into freaking Wesley Snipes? Circa 2002.
Aw, man. Is this gonna be the only Avengers film you'll get hyped for now that there's a ninja there, Addy?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much of a ninja Ronin is, especially since his name is freaking Masterless Samurai. But you know,
Don't you like samurai better than ninjas, anyways?
yeah.
I'm sure Brian Michael Bendis didn't know the difference between ninjas and samurais when he made Ronin. So, did Bendis make Ronin?
I don't think so, because before Hawkeye was Echo, and I want to say Ronin was before the New Avengers, but I could be wrong.
Oh, hang on. Man. When did Echo... I don't know anything about Daredevil. I'm trying to be like, oh, hell yeah, Daredevil, but nah. play it off as if, oh yeah, I know all about all the comics guys, and it's like Daredevil. I can't be bothered to care. Is Punisher involved? No. All right, then I'm out.
But he has evanescence. That's the only thing I know about Daredevil is that he has the power of evanescence.
Okay, no wait. If it was Echo, it might still be Bendis, right? Was Bendis the guy who wrote Daredevil during Marvel Knights, or was that Kevin Smith?
I want to say it was Kevin Smith. I don't think Bendis, to my knowledge, I don't think he ever had Daredevil.
All right, I am looking up the origins of Ronin right now, but I didn't read the run of Avengers where Hawkeye was Ronin. Pink, you're gonna have to elaborate more on Ronin here to Addy.
So that was probably almost immediately after they resurrected Hawkeye. And on a mission to Japan, for some reason, I don't recall, I think it was Echo who was out in Japan doing something Skrull related. Because I think it was like in the kickoff to the Secret Invasion. It's like after they went to the Japan, Hawkeye was sort of back, but he didn't want to be Hawkeye anymore, so they had Echo hand off the mantle of Ronin to Hawkeye for reasons unbeknownst to me. And that's basically it.
Okay, Echo was the first Ronin, but her first appearance as Ronin was in Bendis' New Avengers. So he still did.
All right.
He still did great.
Still Bendis.
Yeah. I did not expect that. I was kind of expecting Kevin Smith. I get Daredevil writers so confused so easily. Bendis did write Daredevil at some point, didn't he?
I have no idea. I have to look that up.
He might have been the one to write Daredevil from like the late 2000s and early 2010s.
Right.
After he got tossed off of Avengers. But yes, Hawkeye is still Ronin. We don't really get any new information about Ronin. Hopefully we're gonna get some cool shit, because I feel like people have been joking about Hawkeye being such a loser for so long. We need to get a really badass Hawkeye or Ronin moment, you know?
I'd appreciate that.
Make him Aramusha.
I mean, that looks like what they're going for a little bit here, though. I think he's only got one sword, unfortunately.
Just split it in two.
What we did get to see of Clint that we haven't seen before is him training one of his kids, presumably his kid. Presumably
It's somebody.
Yeah. I mean,
The kid that he shouldn't have, gosh darn it.
In archery, which I think we can all assume, oh boy, that's Kate Bishop. Now they might say that, oh, it's Kate Barton, so that it can link into being, Hawkeye's kids. But
right.
Either that's Kate Bishop or it's Kate Bishop's spiritual version,
Right. It is the adaptation of Kate Bishop.
And this going along with rumors that Cassie Lang is going to get aged up in this movie. Ooh. Boy, I wonder if they're setting up Young Avengers, huh?
Makes you wonder now, doesn't it?
With that said, I am certainly hyped up for Young Avengers, because I actually quite liked them back in the day.
Right.
I hope they do Patriot justice.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Also, who else is predicting here that scene where Clint is teaching Kate Bishop or his daughter or whoever how to use archery? Who else is predicting that's going to be the scene where Clint's family gets snapped?
Me. I'm predicting it as well.
Yep.
Yep.
Because that's got to be what makes him Ronin. Since he's not going to die in this universe, he needs something dark and traumatic to make him Ronin.
He gets snapped away, and then like one particle of him possesses an ninja.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I like
See,
the idea.
way back when, I thought the end credit scene for Infinity War was going to show Clint Barton and his family getting the snap, but I guess they're saving it for this movie.
People have been
No.
ragging on
They did
Hawkeye.
not show that.
People have been ragging on Hawkeye so hard. I think if the post-credit sequence was Hawkeye, people would complain.
I guess so.
Oh, Hawkeye, he's lame.
I mean, to be fair, whenever I think of Hawkeye, for some reason I see Green Arrow. So
Well, I see the classic suit in my mind, but that's not what we got either. So hey. Oh man,
like the only Archer freaking comic character I know is Green Arrow for some reason, even though there's like 50 of them.
There's 50 of them, but there's only really 3 in our hearts. 4, I forgot about Speedy. Or Roy.
I did too.
Let's never call him Speedy again.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
I'm sure back in the 1940s they thought it was a neat name. Oh, Speedy, the Archer boy. Oh. He beats the criminals real good, see?
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Oh, if we ever do an LA Noire playthrough, that'd be all of it. Yeah. I know. There's still it's repeats of a lot of it. Can I just take a moment? Can we just all take a moment to appreciate how dedicated they are to avoiding spoilers here, and keep it because they're still saying that all the trailer footage is only from the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, though, when you see them all in their fancy suits, it's like Tony's there with them all, along with Nebula, which means they do get out of space. So that kind of angered me just a little bit.
Well,
but
they get back to Earth, but the fact they're putting on the suits and they're clearly doing the spaceship walk, the slow-mo spaceship walk.
With dramatic Aerosmith in the background.
Either implies they are going into space or they're going into time. And if they go into time, they're probably also going to go into space.
Right.
By the way, that is a funny thing, seeing an Avengers lineup that includes Nebula. I would have never expected that from the start.
I was so happy.
Like, she wasn't even an Avenger in the comics at any point. Like, it's real weird seeing her there.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Nebula in the movies. Karen Gillan absolutely kills it as the character, but it's a shocker.
Yes.
I look forward to the next part of Avengers where Agent Venom, puts his head up.
Oh no. No, Venom's too busy with his extreme edgelord Avengers with Punisher and Elektra. And
Carnage.
And Conan.
Conan.
Oh, shit, I forgot. I forgot he actually does have an Edge Avengers.
I keep forgetting Conan's canon to Marvel again. How'd they swing that?
I don't have a clue.
Nah. Ah, well. And now we're gonna move on to this last topic, which I'm gonna shut up because I just been handed lunch, and I'm gonna let Pink field this minefield of a fucking topic right here. Good luck.
That would require me to know all the details of what happened to begin with, which I don't. So I might be putting my foot in mouth a lot here. But that's me for you.
Yeah, let's start with what we know. Guardians of Galaga are back on.
Yes. Guardians of Galaga. So this actually comes off the heels of last week's podcast topic where it said that James Gunn was going to be doing I don't remember, was he on for directing Suicide Squad, the sequel? Or was he just like...
I think he wrote it.
Right.
I think he was doing both. I can't remember.
Right. Directing, writing, both of those things. So it's kind of just a little bit crazy that off the heels of that news being released, he has now been reinstated as director for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Right.
Alex is typing in the chat. He's playing both sides.
I just kind of hope
Revolver Ocelot style.
I just hope that the freaking the scripts get mixed together, so we somehow end up with freaking Harley Quinn in the Avengers. Or basically what should be Harley Quinn in the Avengers.
Yeah, he's doing what's his face? Who's Joker? Who is now
Jared Leto.
Morbius? Jared
Jared
Leto. He's
Leto.
doing a Jared Leto, but better.
But yeah, since we don't have to look at him,
Right.
he's already in a better position.
He also doesn't have to work with the Sony side of Marvel, so he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
DC side, though, he's kind of shooting himself in the foot.
Do you think he did it on purpose to get Marvel to freak out, bring him back?
I don't. I think he was just genuinely looking for work, because if Disney
Makes
kicked him
sense.
to the curb, it's like, why
Yeah.
not go do something that you're already basically familiar with?
Yeah, that does make sense.
All right,
Yeah.
Alex just informed me that Gunn was in trouble for making a pedophilia joke in 2010-ish, he believes.
You know, it does make me wonder though. What happens with WrestleMania now that Drex is back on? Maybe.
See, I had joked in the random thread the other day that this was happening because Batista threatened to return to the WWE full time.
Oh,
Yep. I knew Batista was telling everybody that he was ready to work his way out of the Disney contract if Gunn didn't get back or get signed back.
Yeah.
Here, Feige was in his corner as well. And now everything makes sense. It was only a matter of time before they got him back.
but
Gosh darn it, Alex.
he's threatening that he would go back to MMA.
Batista had like one match in MMA.
Yeah, and he got his
If
shit
that.
pushed in, didn't he?
I don't know. I could not tell you. That was back when nobody cared about MMA. Happier days.
The good times.
The good times.
We're totally not biased against MMA, you guys.
I'm totally biased against MMA.
I just don't care about sports.
Neither do I. That's why I watch wrestling.
I'm one better than you because I don't even watch wrestling, so...
Okay. So Alex just informed us that it was an alt-right comedian that brought Gunn's old pedo jokes to attention as a way of getting back at him for some leftist tweets, I guess. So, all very political stuff here. Just
Yeah.
strangely your typical modern-day drama.
Yeah.
Politics, oh joy.
Yes, sadly.
Dahlia, why aren't you using the TTS? And then we wouldn't have to read out your thing.
Alex Jeanette said because fuck you.
Alright.
Alex Jeanette said this shit sounds tacky.
I think that's the charm.
Yeah.
So, I'm really curious to see where Suicide Squad 2 goes from here.
The bin.
The bin.
Alex Jeanette said also you guys get quiet because you're scared that TDS Bob here'll interrupt you.
Well, for me, it's text-to-speech Claire, but yeah.
I only got Bob. I don't even have the option
Alex
to swap
Jeanette said
Claire.
whatever.
Yeah, me neither.
Alex Jeanette said I do what I want.
Gosh darn it, Bob.
Whenever you do this on my side, you just sound like your can I speak to the manager, like soccer mom?
Alex Jeanette said well, can I?
No.
Manager's on lunch.
Alex Jeanette said I'm being assaulted. Alex Jeanette said let go of my arm. Alex Jeanette said he was grabbing my arm.
Gosh
Alex
darn it,
Jeanette
Eddie.
said I'm calling 911.
This is how we get in
I
trouble
know.
here.
911.
Alex Jeanette said I'll sue ya all.
Yeah, all.
Alex Jeanette said this place is mine now.
This is the shittiest skit we've ever done, I feel. And that's counting the Harry Potter reading.
Alex Jeanette said I'm totally ripping off an SNL skit. Alex
What's funny
Jeanette
is he
said
says
which
this
is
place
why
is
it's
his.
shit.
Which is quite true because now the Discord chat is just a wall of his text.
Yeah.
Alex Jeanette said I'm Banksy.
So,
Alex
brighter
Jeanette
news.
said talk you fucks.
I'm
No, I
trying!
refuse. I refuse. Yeah, you don't pay me enough.
Everyone tuned out for a second, so I could not hear, but I fixed it.
Yay!
Yeah.
Brighter news. Guardians 3. Hopefully back in production as we speak. I'd like to imagine that everyone was just sitting there on set waiting for this moment. It's
Yeah,
been
so-
months. Everybody's starving. All the actors
people
have
are
dropped like
missing on
50
the
pounds
tracks.
and they all look scraggly and bony.
The
But we're
actors
getting
had
it
to piss
done
on the
now.
tracks.
Alex
What
Jeanette
now?
said sitting so still that Batista was invisible.
I said that they had to wait so much. The actors had to piss on the tracks, the train tracks.
Right. Oh, Joker.
Mhm.
I saw a picture of that Joker, and oh boy, the dark cause better be worried. Oh boy.
Alex Jeanette said what?
Mm.
But let me see if I can find. Yeah, I believe this came from soon actually. But can you post a timestamp, W? In between
Alex
text to
Jeanette
speech
said
sessions.
sure.
All right. I believe this came from soon, and I'm not sure where he found it. But yeah,
Oh my goodness.
Alex Jeanette said I think I posted that here.
oh yeah, possible.
Alex Jeanette said old docast.
Petecast.
Alex Jeanette said probably the Infinity Warcast.
Probably. I do remember him posting that one image of the lone raccoon out on the street or something. Let's see. Let me scroll back and see what we were talking about. Something about Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guardians in general, they are very interesting beings. You know, just summoned to guard ancient relics of the past.
Alex Jeanette said I still want there to be a cat bed in the Avengers headquarters.
Rocket doesn't need to live with Tony. He got a job, remember?
Alex Jeanette said and that's just where Rocket sleeps.
Like I can actually go and see if I can find that picture that I posted back in the Infinity Warcast of him working.
Alex Jeanette said it's humiliating.
Hurry, Eddie.
I'm searching.
Search faster.
Alex
I
Jeanette said Quill would not
I've-
stand for this. He respected me.
I need to find. I need to look through the pictures of a person named Raccoons. So sorry if I don't find them immediately. Bloody hell! Half of these pictures are opossums, I think.
The other trash animal.
Yeah, trash panda and trash hedgehog. I don't know what are opossums.
And Guardians 3 was like supposed to come out this year before everything got delayed, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm back.
Oh,
It was
welcome
supposed
back.
to come out like almost immediately after Infinity War, I thought, or not Infinity War, Endgame.
Endgame. Yeah.
There we go. I
thought
found
so.
it.
What movie are you guys talking about?
Post the
When
timestamp.
was Guardians 3 supposed to come out?
Oh, well,
Before all the deadlines, or
it
not
definitely got
deadlines, delays.
It definitely got delayed.
It was straight up put on their back burner.
Yeah.
There we go.
Mhm.
That's the picture.
Oh my gosh.
That's Rocket right now.
Somehow, I think that's more humiliating to him than the cat bed.
Mhm.
Now he's just their receptionist.
I went from intergalactic badass to an office worker. Every slightly New York accent turns to Joe Pesci or Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounded like the DeVito to me. Then again, I don't think I've actually heard Joe Pesci speak yet. So
Have you watched Home Alone?
yes, but in Hungarian,
Ah.
which lacks a Joe Pesci accent.
Goodfellas?
No,
Alright, I've run out of Joe Pesci films. He's coming back now. Actually, there's a new Robert De Niro Martin Scorsese film, The Irishman. He's gonna be in it.
Hmm.
Has he He's probably been out of acting for like 20 years, hasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
But since we're getting everything Joker related, we might as well brace ourselves for Joker Pesci.
Okay. If we have Old Man Batman, I'd actually be fine with that. Because there's been a couple times where they show Joker goes balding in his later years, so that works. I don't know if any of you have read Kingdom Come.
Nope.
No.
I heard people call it racist because it didn't have freaking like black people in medieval Europe or something.
You are definitely thinking about the wrong comic.
No, I'm making a joke about
You're
Kingdom
making a
Come.
reference to something entirely different, I think.
Yeah, I'm talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Yeah.
But there were minorities in Kingdom Come Deliverance.
There were?
Yeah. There's like a traveling band of like Muslim like merchants or something. I didn't play the game, but I knew that there were minorities in that game.
I never cared about that game enough to actually look into things. I just know that there was a lot of outrage about something or other minorities, and that's about it.
I didn't care about it either, but I'm friends with Soon, and Soon loved that game. That's one of those games where the situation was not helped by the head developer being a jackass. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, James Gunn is back. I was not expecting this in even the slightest bit. It seemed like that bridge was as burnt was going to get. You know?
Never doubt the mouse. He has a key to every reality.
Well, I mean, for a while there he was saying he wasn't going to use the key to that reality, but I guess here we are. Alright.
Had there ever been any rumors, though, that they were even looking for a different director?
There were. Though that it wasn't, didn't say who they were thinking, but there was definitely like rumors like, oh, they're looking for someone also wacky. They're looking for someone who's used to directing comedies, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember everybody
Sandler
was saying they were going to get Taika again from Ragnarok to do Guardians, and he denied that pretty vehemently.
Yeah.
Thank God. You know what movie Taika Waititi should be doing? He should do Ambush Bug for DC.
Stiltman.
Stiltman. Hey, look, we already got one of the Stiltmen, as close as physically possible, and Turk showed up at some point. Not with the Stiltman suit, but hey. Alright. So, Addy, you got anything coming up on your channels in the next week?
I've been fighting with reality to make and release the Rogue review for the past month. Reality doesn't want to give in.
Reality is a hell of an opponent. So I'll take that as a tentative maybe.
Yeah.
Alright. Pink, you got anything coming out on your channel soon?
I'm probably gonna upload like the 30-second clips that I recorded from our Crackdown playthrough, and maybe an episode of Pokemon if it actually saved like I wanted it to.
Ooh.
Right.
And the real trouble there is, don't the old Pokemon games not have like save states in any kind of way? So if that recording was genuinely lost, you can't go back.
I'm pretty sure I have it, but it's sketchy right now, so I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah. Ooh. All right. And do we have anything planned for this week on the main channel?
Yes. So, get ready for the hypest return of 2019. I'll just start off with on Monday with Terraria.
Oh man, I'm hyped.
We've got another 12 episodes in it, don't we?
We have 3.
Yeah!
But let me look up what the one-off is for this week, because I forgot. Because I know that how I set the release up, it's series on Monday, one-off on Friday, I want to say.
Ah, okay.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to look up what else I set up. All right. Wait a freaking second. Need to check the time. All right. So actually, I don't think Terraria is getting released. I think that's next week's.
Oh no!
Hey, they get a
I
preview
got
next
hyped
week.
for nothing.
Yeah.
We'll have to get hype again on next podcast.
I feel so betrayed.
Next week you'll have to be pipe.
Yep.
Right, so this week, instead of Terraria, we're getting Part 7 of Rainbow Six Siege. And
Yeah!
Hype.
And Ark.
And Ark.
Oh man, how have we... I thought we already released Ark. That must...
Nope,
No.
that was Conan.
Yeah, Conan.
I forgot
The other one.
Ooh. I mean, those two games are pretty easy to confuse.
Yeah, we only need to record Rust for the complete confusion.
Circle of Life.
Rust would be an interesting one, because that one I feel like we'd have to go on a public server just to see how badly we get stomped. The answer is probably quite badly. That or zombie bears. I don't know. One or the other.
But yeah, that's getting released on the main channel.
Very nice.
It was a very interesting experience, if I remember correctly. A very disappointing experience.
Ark?
Yeah, Ark.
That's disappointing is saying that you actually wanted it to do something for you.
I don't know.
I wanted it to provide content, but I'm not even sure how he managed to get that out of it.
Okay, on the front cover, there's a girl there's a girl with an assault rifle riding a dinosaur, and the dinosaur has machine guns on it. That's what I was expecting.
But
The
the girl is riding the dinosaur the wrong way.
I was disappointed. And the fact that we couldn't tame the dinosaur was probably your fault. Because you made the damn things digest too quickly or something like that.
No, I made them not digest at all. I made them not have hunger at all. I believe is what happened there.
They never would have loved us anyway, no matter how much we had given them.
Like I think they felt hunger once every blue moon. Is how I set it up.
Whoa. Alright, you really fucked us there.
Then why were the carnivores so aggressive? They shouldn't have wanted to eat me.
They didn't want to eat you, they just wanted to kill you. For fun.
Yeah, the carnivores were angry because of testosterone problems.
They're very territorial.
When Addy started the server, he just sent out a bunch of drones spraying testosterone everywhere.
Yeah.
We get there and there's already a sea of blood forming, and we're just like, what the hell?
Everything's killing each other.
We're just gonna stay in this wooden shack right here and wait this out.
But yeah, long story short, Ark. Pretty shit.
Yeah. Alright. So, hey, Pink, what you been up to this past week?
Oh, let's see. I played Crackdown 2 with you guys. That was actually quite fun. Addy hated every second of it, but I got quite a bit of enjoyment out of it.
I didn't hate it, Pink. There's a difference between hating something and just being completely bored by it to tears.
Addy was completely bored by it, but I had a pretty fun time.
And many explosions were had.
Many explosions were had.
And the video ends with Dior.
Right.
Mhm.
I can't say it would be something that I'd ever try to intentionally pick up play again, but I think for what we got out of it, it was very enjoyable. Let's see. I saw Captain Marvel on Wednesday.
I want so desperately to dislike the movie because I just don't like Brie Larson as Carol, but every single person I meet who has watched the movie says it's good. So, are you going to be the dissenting opinion there, or...
I don't want to be the dissenting opinion because I really, really enjoyed it. It's like, I can understand not liking Brie Larson as Carol because I thought she was a terrible choice to play Carol. But I also, way back when, thought Chris Evans wouldn't be a good choice to play Captain America for very similar reasons. But they're both too darn likable for me to stand, so gosh darn it, I enjoy them both. And I need to stop doubting Marvel.
Don't doubt the captains.
Don't doubt the captains.
Oh, well,
All right,
what
I'm
if they
looking
do
for-
the Captain Nazi storyline, though?
Well, no. Doubt that one. That doesn't exist.
As it shouldn't.
I look forward to the Marvel adaptation of Captain Planet.
Hey, look, I never doubted Captain Planet, man. Every time I meet an oil baron, I go and I beat the hell out of him with my heart that I keep in my back pocket.
Every time you meet an oil baron, you buy all the oil and throw it into the ocean.
It has been disposed of. It no longer may trouble
Properly,
this earth.
yes. Nothing bad could possibly have come from that, right?
Nah. Why
He-
are,
Oh,
he
the, why,
good.
flashbacks.
why are the fish angry at me?
Why are the fish dead?
Why is Aquaman beating me?
Why is Aquaman beating me with the fish?
Why did Aquaman summon Cthulhu?
Oh man, and Cthulhu's covered in oil, and it's on fire. So it's just a giant flaming Cthulhu rampaging through the continental United States.
What have we done?
Bad times, Daddy. Alright, so... Oh, there was a specific question I was going to ask. So I heard something about it, but we're still kind of in the spoiler period.
Right.
Fuck.
Just do it at the end of the.
Yeah, I
Thing.
can do.
Okay, the end is going to be spoilers for Captain Marvel again. There we go.
2 weeks in a row.
Captain Marvel
end is going-
cast part 2.
GTA Cast Part 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're playing For Honor right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Every podcast is a For Honor cast for Addy.
I'm slowly stepping people to death with Nabushi. It takes about as much time as you imagine.
Yep. But there's still something so wonderful to being so annoying.
My favorite part of being Nabushi is stabbing people just long enough to make it so the bleed kills them no matter what they do, unless they somehow heal and they're running away.
Yep. Well, it's the best when they die of bleeding, because they just limply fall over.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, there's been a few times where that's happened and I didn't know what had happened. And then you guys are like, oh, it's the bleed damage. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. No wonder he just flopped over and died from a heart attack.
Shaman.
It was the hot punch.
Okay, that would be great, actually. That should be one of the executions they give to Raider or Shigoki, honestly.
Warlord.
Warlord, yep. Warlord should have it. Because doesn't Warlord
Warlord
already have 4 or 5 wrestling executions?
Yeah. Warlord is just the Rock in freaking costume. He has a sumo one of those sumo outfits on.
So, yeah, I guess we'll save Captain Marvel for the end then. Is there anything else you've done this past week, Pink?
I watched Spider-Verse again.
I heard a little bit about it.
Get a chance?
I've not watched it, no, but I think I've been more or less spoiled on it by this point. Would you say we're out of the spoiler grace period for Spider-Verse? It's probably been 3 or 4 months.
It's 3 months because it came out December, right?
Yeah.
So 3 months. It comes out on Blu-ray soon. I want to say soonish.
Yeah.
So we can just go ahead and say we're out of the spoiler grace period?
Sure, if you're fine with that.
All right, let's go for it. So, yeah. By the way, if you're still intent on seeing Spider-Verse without being spoiled, if spoilers ruin the movie for you, yeah, maybe I can't tell you to skip ahead a precise amount of time. Maybe just stop watching the podcast.
Maybe just stop.
Just stop watching the channel altogether.
No, just stop.
Hammer time.
Ah, damn it.
Look, somebody had to do it, and it wasn't me, so you can't even blame me.
For once, I must blame Pink. Damn it, Pink. The first ever recorded "Damn it, Pink" on recording.
No, there's at least one other, I feel.
Well, you feel it, but you don't know it, and feelings don't pass in court, Addy.
Tell that to my psychiatrist.
So, I have been spoiled pretty much on Miles' whole thing with his uncle, that whole storyline.
Right.
So they go fully into having Prowler being like a villain outside of the sympathetic way he goes out. That's kind of surprising.
Yes. Just a little bit.
Because Prowler's thing in the comics was always his redemption, wasn't it?
In the mainline universe, I can't speak on the Ultimate, because I'm pretty sure he was just a straight-up villain in that universe as well.
Wait, was Prowler still Miles' uncle in the Ultimate universe?
Yes.
I did not know that. I thought they just mixed those two characters together. Huh. Is it not just a tad convenient that one of Spider-Man's former villains, his nephew, winds up being the one who becomes the new Spider-Man?
It's a little bit, yeah.
I don't know. You know, at the same time, it bothers me when people bitch about convenience in fiction, but at the same time, it's my favorite thing when they explain away the convenience.
Yeah.
So, who's the main villain of this movie? Because I hear about Prowler, I hear about Kingpin, and boy, I've seen pictures of Kingpin. Kingpin is oh lord, he coming in that movie.
I think
the Mega Chonker.
I think he's the main-ish villain.
Yeah, Kingpin's the main villain. He's got a cast of little secondary villains, his little posse. There's a alternative Scorpion, Tombstone, the previously mentioned, Dr. Octopus, and the Prowler. I think those are the only ones. Yeah, nobody else springs to mind, so I'm going to say those are the only ones.
I can't think of anyone else.
Is it
Spider-Gwen, but for entirely different reasons.
Spider-Gwen is the greatest villain.
Hmm.
Is it not a bit weird that they have to gather up an army of like 7 Spider-Men just to beat Kingpin? Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, Kingpin's a threatening guy, but main universe Spider-Man beats him solo all the time.
Right.
They need the power of Daredevil to beat Kingpin.
It's
Yep.
less. The movie is less about them needing that extra power more than that extra power just happened to accidentally cross over into that universe. Spider-Man didn't need to form a team of Spider-Man. They just all happened to be there, and they all shared the same goal of
Yeah.
getting out of there.
How much emphasis does each individual Spider-Man have? I mean, obviously Miles is going to get the majority of it, but I mean everyone else.
Yeah, Miles, primary protagonist. Let's.
Peter gets some
Peter
nice
is
screen
the
time.
protagonist, the secondary character. He
Mhm.
gets the second most amount of screen time.
Peter
Yep.
instead of Gwen?
Spider-Gwen comes next, and then everyone else is just sort of there.
Ah, okay, that's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
So Nicolas Cage signed up for an ancillary role as Noir.
All right.
Isn't the freaking Mech Spider in this? The Japanese manga one?
Penny Parker?
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
Parker?
Penny
Penny.
Parker.
Oh yeah.
I hate how they spell her name in all the merchandise and shit. Because isn't it spelled P-E-N-I? And that's it?
Yes.
I hate that.
That's not Peanut Parker.
Yeah, that's why I hate it.
Multiple
There should be
multiple
two
P-
wins there, Marvel.
Multiple
Two
penises
wins.
Parker.
And she's a chick too, isn't she? Isn't she like a little Japanese
Yeah.
girl?
Yes.
No, she's a futanari.
I don't want to know. Shut up, shut up.
Futanari is a kind of hentai
I'm deafening
where
myself. I'm taking my earbuds out. You can keep going. You can ruin these other two, but I'm taking my earbuds out until your little sign stops glowing.
But yeah, so for
Quick, let's move on.
For the viewing
Yeah,
audience,
okay.
the futanari is
Gosh
sort of
darn it, Eddie.
hentai where the woman
No.
has a dick.
Gosh darn it, Eddie.
You said too much.
You've ruined this podcast. We have to turn it off now.
You see that?
I
You
hope
say
you're
that?
happy.
You say that's too much. Some might say that didn't say enough.
Oh no.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right. So,
Take us with you.
well, you want me to take you guys want me to take you with me back to the podcast? I think you're trying to go the opposite direction. All right. And who else is there? Is it just Spider-Ham is the sixth?
I think so.
Yes.
I'm gonna assume Spider-Ham gets the least focus.
He kind of does. Yeah.
Yep, I would concur with that.
Because what are you going to do with Spider-Ham?
Yeah.
Bacon.
Bacon.
Spider bacon. Excuse you.
Yeah, spider bacon.
I don't think that's the kind of bacon you want to be eating.
Mm-mm.
I
But
mean,
yeah, I'm looking forward to the next reimagining of Spider-Man where he's he's just some Irish guy,
Okay.
Spider-Man.
Okay. Here's the thing, Addy, about Spider Bacon. I want to go back to that. I know we're on to something with Spider-Man. I agree there, but I want to go back just a little bit. So your idea about Spider-Man Bacon. Keep in mind there was a universe where Spider-Man got Mary Jane cancer.
Gosh darn it, I knew you were going to bring that up.
You know where I'm going. I don't need to finish that sentence. Through his DNA, and I won't say anything else. His DNA, imagine what you wish. But I don't want to eat none of that spider bacon, because I know what that causes.
Fun times for all. So are you saying that the spider bacon is soaked in radioactive jizz?
We can all agree that Spider-Ham would probably taste kind of funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, the funny joke! Yay! I got it in.
What was that game? What was that Game Grumps meme? Funny joke.
I don't know.
Yeah, I only know of that by proxy. Because by that point I stopped watching Game Grumps.
Let's go back. Let's go back to Spoilers Man. Let's go back to see where that leads. Oh, it's several Irish spiders now.
Yeah. You called him spoilers, man, not me.
And each individual spider speaks with an Irish accent.
Yes.
And they're all angry.
It's like Charlotte's Web. They write with an Irish accent.
There has to be a lot of apostrophes there.
Just be ready for the times when they start speaking freaking Celtic.
Spoilers man, his special power is webbed up car bombs.
That was low.
It was. I had to take it. I had to take it there. While we're making fun of an ethnicity, we gotta go. We gotta go in deep.
Something Bloody Sunday.
Yep. That's all of Ireland for you. We got alcohol, accents, car bombs, and U2. That's all we get. There's nothing else in Ireland. There is no ancient history, no ancient culture nothing to be proud of, nothing.
Enya.
Culture, no.
That's only Enya.
We're only going to bring up the parts that you should be ashamed of, especially you two.
I don't know.
I like
take
you two, but
over
I have
Enya.
to commit. I have to commit to the joke. Oh, what a poor bastard
when
Bono is.
When you enter Ireland, you get a free U2 CD downloaded to your iPhone.
It just appears there without your consent.
Yeah.
That's why the people in Ireland are always angry. The fucking phones are always playing U2 songs. So they have to drink to forget the pain of U2.
Yeah. But yeah, wasn't Enya from freaking Ireland?
I don't know. The two Irish bands I know are U2 and Cranberries.
I'll check. Give me a sec.
I'm expecting Pink to pop in here because he's our music guy, but he's not.
I know lots of artists. I have no idea where they're from. I honestly didn't even know U2 was from Ireland before you said that.
But yeah, the only thing I want to say about Enya is that there was this joke in a YouTube poop that I agree with immensely that went, you know where every bad decision comes from? Enya. Alright, let me see.
Never heard an Enya song in my life, so the reference goes over my head.
Oh, you have, you just don't know it's Enya.
Pink, I refuse to believe you didn't know U2 was Irish, considering all of their early albums and songs were about the Troubles. Like half their material.
Yeah, as you say that, I'm just now remembering they have that Sunday Bloody Sunday song. So yeah, I probably didn't know that. I just forgot.
It happens.
Right. So, if you haven't listened to Enya, partake in suffering.
Well, I mean, we are recording something at this current time,
I don't feel right now.
Let's just pause the podcast real quick. Go listen to Enya and then come back.
Podcast.
We're not
Convene.
We're not getting like on instant commentary here on this. It's gonna be like next week's podcast. Hey guys, I listened to Enya. Because I'll totally remember to do that.
It's a topic for next week.
But yeah, like the only time is that one meme song, the one like death meme song. I think.
Mm.
Well, I'm not an expert on my meme songs. I defer to you in that regard.
So yeah, and by the way, I had to use this song that's basically for or about death. Yeah, I had to use this for a video for somebody's prom because the teacher who but basically prom is set up, or well, it's complicated, but long story short, there's a video that gets shown for every class, and being the school's video guy, I had to make every video that they wanted me to. And so one of the class's homeroom teacher asked me to make a video for her class that was to this song, and it was suffering. It was pain and suffering.
Why would your prom song be a song about death?
Because I don't think she realized it was about death, even though she's an English teacher.
That's her job to interpret that shit.
Like she just took it as, oh, it's a pretty song about the time passing and shit, and yeah.
Okay, I don't know this song. Wait, are you the one that's wrong here? Hang on.
Let me see. Because I'm pretty sure with how, well, in the memes anyway, how it's used in the context, it's pretty much about that.
I mean, death and limited time are both related concepts, but they are not the same concept. Because if we're talking about, you've got limited time, make good use of it, that's a bit happier than death, you know?
So yeah, it is not what's the word? Well, it doesn't really talk. Well, it doesn't specifically say death, but it pretty much implies that your time is really limited, and by really limited, I mean you only have like 2 days left.
I mean, that's metaphorical. It's music. I mean, they kind of got to do that shit. It being about people got limited time in their lives, that's not necessarily about death. And I mean, that is a thing that can fit for prom, because that's like teaching, oh, hey, kids, when you get out there, don't shit yourselves, because you only get a limited amount of time to do that. Unless you want to spend your entire life shitting yourself. Which, I mean, I guess that's an option, but don't.
I don't know. For some people, it's better to do that. Some people wouldn't be able to contribute to society in a good way anyway. So,
but by what logic does shitting yourself contribute to society?
It doesn't. But I'm saying that them not contributing to society is better than them contributing to society in a bad way.
Well, that's not really contributing to society. That's kind of detracting from society. But then we're getting into semantics. So, Addy, what you're saying is you're taking the Scrooge perspective here and saying we should cut down the surplus population. Starve the orphans? No, incinerate the poor?
Says guy who lives in the ghetto.
I am a plague upon society. Take me with you. No, you're the traitor. You're going to betray the poor. You're going to be the one who plants the bombs.
No, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna
when
be
they
the
build
one.
Elysium, you'll get a free pass in because you were the traitor.
No, what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna be the one that they stand in a pyramid formation for, so I can rise above the water, and then I just start stomping.
All right, there we go. What the fuck were we talking about?
No.
Believe it or not, I think this all started with Spider-Verse.
It did.
So I heard something about Dr. Octopus being unique in that movie, being an interesting character.
Yeah, it's not Otto. It's somebody entirely different.
It's actually Peter. They're still switched.
Ah!
Hey, I would have paid good money to see Superior Spider-Man on that silver screen as well.
Oh, that would have been the
Unfortunately, it
perfect
was
time
not.
to introduce Superior Spider-Man.
That would have been pretty cool.
Ah, well. So how is this not Otto, Ock?
It was... I don't have any strong opinion one way or another. The tentacles were not mechanical in any way. They were more like these... I'm not sure how you would describe them.
It was actually
Just
just related
some
to
sort of-
anime.
Tube thingy.
I mean, the mechanical tentacles do look like tubes.
Right, but
Yeah.
these weren't metal. They were more like a... they look like a soft plastic. That's as best
They
the
do.
word that I can come up with to describe them right now.
Yep.
So, well, wouldn't that make Doc a lot easier to beat?
You would think.
Yeah.
But I assume that Ock still wipes the floor with the Spider-Man at first.
Yeah,
Ah, yeah.
that's Doc Ock's job.
Every single universe, Doc Ock's tentacles are just unstoppable. You'd think that past a certain point they'd learn to aim for the part of him that isn't tentacle, but here we are.
In every universe, Donkey Kong is unstoppable, especially the Japanese one.
Shut up.
Gosh darn it, we're back on that train.
Oh, so that's what I missed. What else was there that I wanted to hear about? So Peter is an old loser in this movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So my understanding was that this is an interpretation of Spider-Man, that particular Peter, where he just entirely pretty much threw away his life as Peter in favor of being Spider-Man.
I disagree. This Peter doesn't seem to like being Spider-Man whatsoever.
Well, none of the Spider-Men like being Spider-Man, but it's the responsibility, right?
Right.
Like, this is a universe, that's a universe of where Peter recognized the importance of being Spider-Man, and even though he hated it, he still wound up tossing aside Mary Jane and Aunt May and all them for
Good on
being
him
Spider-Man.
good on him for quitting his weed addiction.
Addie?
You're welcome.
So,
But this Peter, he didn't toss Aunt May aside. Aunt May is actually dead.
yeah.
And Peter killed her.
No.
that was a sound of distress right there. So
He's responsible for Uncle Ben's death, and then he just flat out killed Aunt May. He's like, "Yeah, I don't need you anymore. Time for you to go."
I
You've lived for hundreds of years, Aunt May. It's time for you to go.
I am powered by guilt. I must kill my aunt to increase guilt power.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I need to level up.
The more that relationship Peter has, the more powerful power he has.
I love how superhero fiction almost always works like reverse Flash logic, you know? Arthur Solomon there. The guiltier you are, the stronger. So I'll kill all of your family so you can be Superman.
So what happened in this universe is Peter murdered every person he liked. Like J. Jonah is dead, Mary Jane is dead, everybody's dead. It's only him, but he's unstoppable now.
Spider-Man kills every person he saves so that he can fight Galactus off.
Solo.
He just flicks Galactus off of Earth.
He inherits the power cosmic without the surfboard, even. Just like once you kill enough people, boom, it's yours.
He starts eating planets so he can pick up even more guilt power.
He really hates himself, but he keeps doing it because he needs to save the universe.
Apocalypse pops out of his pyramid like, it is time for me to dictate our evolution, and then Spider-Man's thumb just comes raining down from the sky.
Like, they need to make this a reality. They need to make Galactus Spider-Man a thing.
It was. There was an old What If comic where Peter Parker became Galactus.
What?
But he still went. I only got to see a couple panels of it, but I think the joke was that he still goes through his life being Peter, despite being Galactus. So he's walking between the buildings like, man, I hope J. Jonah doesn't wring my ass raw for this. I had to take pictures of myself eating a planet. What? I'm sorry? Like, boy, if getting those shots of Spider-Man was questionable, I'm going to be like, how the hell? Peter, why were you on Mars?
Peter, how come your hands became silver and they're in the frame?
The fact that he's still giant too, so he's just walking up to the side of the building and handing the photo in directly to Jonah's window, right?
But the photos are scaled up and he still uses Polaroids.
Yeah. Wait, is he using a giant Polaroid that he hands to Jonah and Jonah can't carry it? Or has he got a tiny Polaroid that he holds in the palm of his hand?
He has gigantic Polaroid pictures.
He just tapes them directly to the side of the Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
No, J. Jonah would actually use that as an advertisement plan, I think.
Yeah.
Here, Peter, I need you to tape these all over the city. People are going to be buying Daily Bugles like nobody's business.
No, he just has Peter dressed up as the Daily Bugle, building, and
Go on,
by
building or is the
and
bugle? Because I mean,
the
Galactus
building.
has the helmet shaped to imitate the bugle. So
No, he has to dress up as the building, but by dress up I mean he has to put the building on.
the Daily Bugle headquarters is now on the move.
Yeah.
Why did everything in the building just go sideways? Oh, Peter had to take a nap. I love these little moments that are hilarious to us, but if there's an audience watching, they're like, what are these idiots rambling about? So yeah, into the Spider-Verse. How about that Peter Parker Galactus, huh?
Yeah.
It was a sight to behold.
The final boss of Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man Battle Royale.
Oh, but-
You make it sound like Spider-Verse is about Spider-Man fighting other Spider-Men. It's like the One, but with Spider-Man. He has to kill.
Oh
them all
no!
to become more powerful.
You know what I figured out.
What?
Freaking Galactus Spiders Man.
Galactus. That's
It's just
horrifying.
It's just eight-legged freaks the movie.
He doesn't eat planets. He just spits giant spiders all over the planet, and they eat the planet.
He is gigantic spiders. So
Oh, that'd be the worst. A character who gets a projectile vomit attack, and they just vomit spiders.
yeah.
So, would you say your opinion has been changed much about Spider-Verse on second viewing?
Not by much. I still think it's a very solid movie. There was one thing that really stood out to me on the second viewing, though, and that's that apparently, unless I heard something incorrectly, Spider-Gwen comes into Miles' universe like an entire week before everyone else.
Yes.
Which doesn't make sense because the Super Collider wasn't operated before that point in time where everyone else comes in. So she basically time traveled and jumped dimensions at the same time to wind up in Miles' universe before any multidimensional warps would ever occur.
Well, hey, Spider-Man
that didn't
Noir
make
could have been there. You wouldn't have known.
That is true.
He's sneaking in the shadows.
I also think it's pretty hilarious how all these alternative Spider-Men of entirely different universes and paths of life all know to convene at Aunt May's place.
Yes.
Even Penny?
Even
Yeah.
Penny, the character that has absolutely no relation to the Parker family whatsoever, knows to go
Yeah.
find Aunt May.
For Penny, it was a bit weird because she only has an Uncle May.
Uncle May.
Came back.
Aunt Ben.
Aunt Ben, who's dead now.
Oh my
Got
goodness.
squished by a giant mecha or kaiju. Because they're
Gojira ate him.
The mecha that Penny didn't stop.
Yeah. No, I just want the Japanese manga Spider-Man to be Power Rangers now. And I don't mean the actual freaking the fights. Like I want the original story to be so this little girl got bit by a spider and then somehow a freaking gigantic mecha grew out of her. And then she applied for the freaking mecha wrestling company.
and the other mech is still Macho Man somehow. It's Macho Man piloting a mech of himself.
No, it's Macho Man piloting a Slim Jim.
A Slim Jim with legs. That'd be terrifying.
Yeah. An anthropomorphic Slim Jim.
Okay, now you've opened a little curiosity here. Do they actually explain the origins of each of the Spider-Man?
Briefly.
Yeah, briefly. They all go through the same basic flashback, and it's used more as comedy than actual explanation of their origins.
Okay,
Yep.
do they skip over Noir? Because I know how Noir's origins go.
They don't tell it in the same way. They
Right.
go very
All the-
briefly on, oh, this is what I was doing in the past few years, and now I'm here.
Right. I think all their origin stories were made the same in this movie
Hmm
to add to that comedic effect of everyone saying they were bitten by a radioactive spider and they've been Spider-Man or woman for X
hmm
amount of years.
They've been spiders for X amount of years.
Right.
Technically,
We need spider. We need spiders many more. Just more in general. Like I want Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions to where you just instead of throwing web, you just throw spiders.
oh, I'm kind of surprised they don't just skip over Noir. I assume then they cut out the whole thing of Uncle Ben getting eaten by the vulture.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's probably a good reason for that.
Noir is really only Noir in name, because he's also got all the Spider-Man powers as well.
Oh, so
I did notice that.
So he's not just a crazy guy with a gun anymore.
Yeah.
Ah. All right. So what else you done this past week, Pink?
Let me think. I think Fastlane was this week, but it might have been last week. But I did watch that.
That's the new WWE pay-per-view, right?
Right, the one leading into WrestleMania. It's their final pay-per-view before the big show.
Before the big show returns.
Right.
And then heel again.
I mean, yeah, WrestleMania would be a good spot for Big Show to return at, I suppose. He's been gone for quite a while.
How is he not retired?
He has, I think.
He's probably retired at this point. I don't know. I might have missed a memo.
Half the wrestlers WWE has. When I hear about them, I'm like, how are they not retired? Is R-Truth still running around?
Yes.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was just U.S. champion about a month ago.
How?
For one whole day.
I love Truth, don't get me wrong, but he's old. I mean, his hair. When I stopped watching, his hairline was already receding bad. Has it only gotten worse?
Honestly, I don't think so. It's like R-Truth to me has looked the same since 2012.
Our truth to me has looked the same since 2000.
Back when he was K-Quick?
Yeah, cake quick.
I'm gonna cut off Addy before he turns that into a joke about R-Truth using cake as a weapon or something.
No, I just wanted to say that WWE had so many untapped potential for blended shit.
Oh, Jesus. All right. What were the matches at Fastlane, Pink?
Let's see. I think it was multi-branded. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was. Because they don't do the separate pay-per-views anymore. I'm an idiot. Ignore what I just said. So Lesnar, obviously not on the pay-per-view.
Why is that obvious?
Because it's Lesnar.
He still wants a paycheck.
He wants a Mania paycheck.
They give him a paycheck without showing up anymore.
Ah, all right.
He's just eternal champion now.
Even when he's not champion, they just give him a paycheck for, hey, you exist. Vince jerked off to you today. Here's a check.
You exist, and you're the champion, and you're not on the show. Here's a paycheck. So,
Still gets more money than the reigning champion.
Yeah. That's not
Yep.
even a question. We know Lesnar's getting paid than whoever the fuck the champion is right now. Unless the champion is Rock or Cena, Lesnar is getting paid better.
right. This show was a big notable show for the final reunion, I suppose, of the Shield. Because Roman came back for a match. I don't know how long he'll be sticking around. He might have a match at Mania. He might not. I don't know.
Well, I know he's in remission, which means he's doing better.
Yeah. I don't know how much they want him in the ring, though. I mean, they obviously want him in the ring a lot, as much as they can get, but I don't know how much he's willing to give them at this point.
They brought Daniel Bryan back after Daniel Bryan nearly killed himself. WWE has no standards here.
They did not want him back, though. That was all Daniel trying to get back in the ring. Because he would have left for Japan, of all places, had they not put him back in the ring.
Well, I mean, they're still irresponsible for letting him in that case.
I mean, in fairness, if the doctors say Daniel Bryan is good to go,
then WWE pays the doctors a little more.
Right.
Hey, good job there. He's giving him a pat on the back and a wad of cash on the chest. It's Vince. He makes it rain.
But yeah, this was a final match that the Shield will potentially have. Because Dean not going to resign with company come post WrestleMania.
Thank God.
Right. So they had their match against Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley,
who I cannot believe is back.
Yeah. And what's the other one? Baron Corbin.
Who I cannot believe.
You ever
is still
expect
there.
to see Baron freaking Corbin in a main event?
No.
I certainly didn't, but he was. Granted, he was just on a thrown together tag team for the Shield reunion, but still.
Hey, Baron Corbin has to work somewhere.
That'd be better than what he's got, honestly. He comes out with a little rod with a corn on the end, and that's his foreign weapon.
He's just a real big fan of Korn, the band.
And his victory is a little victory thing after he finishes the match. The guy that normally hands Stone Cold his beer hands him 2 packs of popcorn, and he does the whole Stone Cold thing where he runs it over his mouth.
No, they hand him 2 packages of corn on the cob. He makes that rain on him.
That'd be a bit harder, but okay. Somehow this is more wildly entertaining than anything they've given Baron Corbin to do.
Well, they could give Baron Corbin this kind of entertaining shit, and he'd fuck it up anyways.
That is true.
He's a charisma vacuum. I haven't watched anything. I've seen him in the video games, and he's a charisma vacuum in the. He's a charisma vacuum in the video games. Like,
all of his
personality really shines through.
All of his charisma is locked behind his stomach face.
Okay, and I assume the Shield won that match by a landslide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're not.
There was no doubt of who would be the victors in that match.
The call around the ring, the call around backstage for that. All right, so who here wants to get their ass beat? Who's ready to job?
I'm quite confident that they've got big things planned for Drew in the future.
Why?
Because Drew McIntyre is a beast now. Have you seen anything he's done recently?
He is?
He is.
Last I heard of him, he was the human picture of complacency.
Back in 2011, I'd agree with you, but I think he was released in 2011. After re-signing and after he's gone up to the main roster, I still didn't really care for Drew McIntyre. I always felt he was kind of overrated. But everything recently that I've seen of him, it's like, I'm pretty sold on him, honestly.
And Bobby Lashley was there too.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley was there.
So any other matches?
They're continuing to push Kofi, potentially, I think.
Solo?
The main... What's that? Not solo, not quite.
So Xavier and Big E are at ringside then?
Yeah, they're still in his corner. New Day's not split up or anything, but it seems like they're building towards a Mania match between him and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan being the current WWE champion.
That
which
could be interesting.
It's very interesting because it's also a match you wouldn't have ever thought you would see at Mania.
For the WWE Championship, possibly as the main event.
Right. I mean, obviously we're getting Lesnar and Rollins, in the actual main event, but still, Daniel Bryan, WWE champion right now. Kofi Kingston found himself in an Elimination Chamber match after Mustafa Ali got injured and he needed to be replaced, and then won over the audience in that one night and has continued to ride that momentum.
Yeah.
So
Pretty crazy.
So the Elimination Chamber winner, I assume, is then going up against heavyweight? Oh,
No, Daniel Bryan was champion, defended his championship in an Elimination Chamber. Lesnar and the Raw Universal Championship was not a part of that show.
Okay, I'm still stuck in the past. I thought the other championship was the heavyweight. I'm a
Right.
fool.
No, Universal and WWE now.
Man, that is weird. I feel like I might have had Kofi main event a WrestleMania in one of the WWE games. That's how weird that is. I went for it. If I go for somebody, WWE does not. Huh. That would be a really entertaining match. Ordinarily, I don't feel like tuning into wrestling, and I'm not going to shell out the money for WrestleMania, not in a million years. But that sounds like a really entertaining match, those two.
Right.
Because, I mean, Kofi kind of does the same thing in most matches.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Bryan could definitely pull something out of him.
Yeah. Absolutely. They're also building towards Randy Orton and AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
Which, those are two of the greatest modern-day performers ever.
If Randy feels like showing up for work that day, that could be one of the greatest matches of the decade.
Absolutely.
If Randy feels like showing up to work that day. If Randy is physically checked in and mentally checked out, nope, not today.
Right. So that should be a Mania standout, absolutely. I didn't see the pre-show, but the Cruiserweight Championship was probably defended on that. Like it always is.
I keep forgetting they brought it back.
So does everyone else, because they never featured on the show.
Why the hell did they bring it back?
So they don't have to bring people like Akira Tozawa.
They got really excited for the Cruiserweights for a whole 2 minutes there, and then they jumped the gun, and then they forgot they brought them back, and now they have no idea what they're doing with them. It's like, they keep going in this circle of, oh, we want to push the Cruiserweights really hard. Oh, wait, we have Cruiserweights now? What? We don't need those. Oh, wait, let's push the Cruiserweights really hard now. Wait, no, we don't need those guys. Send Mustafa Ali up to the main roster. No, push the Cruiserweights. We got this. Nah, let's send Drew Gulak to Raw. Have him feud with Roman. No, wait, put him back on 205 Live.
Let's send Drew Gulak to the Gulag.
Precisely.
It seems like it's so much trouble maintaining a separate cruiserweight division. It just makes more sense to lump them in with everybody else.
You would think so?
I mean, if this were 20 years ago when Kevin Nash were still had some swing backstage, then I'd perfectly understand, because it's like, if they don't have a separate division, they won't get any titles at all. But this is no longer the era of Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan dictating backstage.
Right, not when you've got Kofi, Daniel Bryan, and Mustafa Ali all competing for the WWE Championship, who are all probably well below 6 feet, maybe just clocking in at 6 feet, but well underneath the ridiculous 240 pounds. What's that?
I'm pretty vanilla, all things considered.
I mean, Daniel tries, bless his heart.
Daniel, he has a gimmick that he has been working quite well, I would say.
Oh, is it the stupid straight edge society thing, but vegan?
Yes.
I can't see that working. Daniel Bryan's too much of a live and let live kind of guy.
Straight vegan society.
Straight vegan society, yes. I think he pulls it off well enough.
I don't know. Daniel Bryan seems like a natural born face to me. I guess that's because Daniel Bryan's one of those guys who has such a genuine passion for wrestling that it bleeds through in every single thing he does, you know?
Right, but I also thought his best character was when he was teaming with Kane in Team Hell No, where he was grumpy all the time.
Yeah.
Grumpy Daniel Bryan is pretty good. I'll say that, but at the same time, that was a comedy act, fully
True.
in every single possible part. And I mean, Kane is underrated in the comedy department. I think Kane's one of those wrestlers who can make anyone funny. So I mean, Daniel Bryan's funny on his own, but Kane is a big help there.
Right.
Does Kane still wrestle now that he's mayor of Knoxville?
I think last time he wrestled was because WWE donated to Knoxville.
Ah, okay.
They've actually had him wrestle only a few times since he's been elected as mayor, because he did that one match with DX in the what was it? Their Australia show, Super Showdown.
Right, where we watched HBK and Taker die in the ring.
Yes,
HBK do a moonsault to the outside and tombstone himself on the ground.
the one show where they brought back every DX member, even China.
Oh, okay, yeah. I made Addy uncomfortable with the car bomb jokers, and a couple 10 minutes ago. Now I've been made uncomfortable. Ooh. I'm just gonna shut up for a little bit. Keep going, Pink.
All right. Fastlane. It happened. Most everything that happened was kind of predictable. Nothing really groundbreaking occurred. There were no big changes made on the show that would impact WrestleMania in any way. It just kind of felt like, oh, we're doing one more special event before the big WrestleMania we've got coming up. So just a little disappointing in that regard, because I would have liked to see something substantial happen, but it didn't. So
should they get rid of the February pay-per-view, the February-March pay-per-view?
February is Elimination Chamber.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I thought there was only...
that or January.
So now there are 2 pay-per-views between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania?
Yes. I think it used to be the Royal Rumble, then the Elimination Chamber, then WrestleMania, but they've since added. But I could be wrong.
I thought Elimination Chamber was kind of pointless because they can't really do much during the build-up to WrestleMania, or else it'll interrupt the storylines. Fastlane's really screwed there.
Right.
Why does
I was mentioning in the wrestling thread way back when Elimination Chamber happened, when Kofi didn't get the belt. I said they need to not have not WrestleMania, the Elimination Chamber so close to WrestleMania, because that means nothing can happen. They've already got their WrestleMania plans in place. Kofi should have won the title at the Elimination Chamber, but because they already had their Mania plans, it's like, no, you can't do anything cool with the Chamber. The only thing substantial that happened in the Chamber was the crowning of new tag team champions in the women's division, because those titles were just then being introduced.
Yeah.
What they need to do is they need to remove Fastlane, move the Elimination Chamber down amount, so it's right after Royal Rumble, and then introduce Starrcade.
No, that's a terrible decision.
What they should do is torch 70% of the pay-per-views.
Right.
What they should do is close up shop. No.
Elimination Chamber needs to
not close up shop. Just destroy most of the shop and rebuild.
Right. The Elimination Chamber needs to go somewhere around the summer.
Yes.
Or maybe a little bit after summer, because SummerSlam happens in August, I want to say. So maybe like October, November.
I'd have put it in late June, because if you put it in October or November, then it's screwing with Survivor Series.
Oh, that's true. So yeah, early June. That sounds good.
If you put it in early June, then it kind of puts it in where it's like, if you win at WrestleMania, you're now put into an awkward position because you're going to have to hold it in an even more brutal and grueling match shortly after. With that said, I'm one of those people who says we should just have the Big Four. And Money in the Bank should just go back to WrestleMania. Elimination Chamber, I don't know, fit that into SummerSlam, since SummerSlam doesn't have any traditions yet.
Right.
Punjabi Prison.
Punjabi Prison.
Oh, no.
Just repurpose that. Make it the Sam Castle match. Some shit.
It'd be funnier if they kept Punjabi Prison, even though there aren't any notable, like, Are there any notable Indian wrestlers in WWE right now? Do they? Because Kali's gone. I know Kali's gone, right?
Jinder Mahal is there, and they actually brought back the Punjabi prison just for him.
Ah, all right.
Way back a year or two ago when he was feuding with Randy for the championship.
I'm fine with dumb gimmicks.
Yes, remember when Jinder Mahal was WWE champion?
I try not to. I'm fine with egotistical heels getting their own stupid gimmick matches, honestly. Because it fits for them being an egotistical heel, right?
Right.
Now there's still a certain limit of stupid. You know,
I mostly agree, except in the case of the Punjabi prison, where it is just a steel cage, but worse. Because there is absolutely nothing the wrestlers can do in that Punjabi prison to convey a good story of any kind, good athleticism of any kind. It's like, if you throw somebody into the Punjabi prison, what sound is it going to make? Let me ask you that question. What do you think it's going to sound like?
I don't know what the material is.
The material is wood. It's not going to make any sound. It might make a slight thump.
It might rattle. If it's shoddily made, it might rattle.
It won't rattle because it's not shoddily made.
Oh,
There's no pleasing aesthetic to the cage whatsoever. It doesn't make any sounds. It doesn't convey any action in any way.
I want it to fall on.
It blinds the audience more than the typical standard cage. It's just a flat-out terrible idea. I cannot believe they ever brought it back.
Here's my idea for a fixed Punjabi prison for you, Pink. So, instead of the whole thing being wood, replace the walls with glass, but with glass that has holes in it so you can climb, and then replace the top with barbed wire.
Okay.
And that's
That
it.
sounds.
That sounds like ECW.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah.
What I'd say is make it out of material that looks like it's sturdy, but it's actually not, so that it breaks apart really easy. And I'd make it a light material, so that if it does fall over, it's not going to hurt anyone. But they can still act like they took the bump, right? If it falls over on someone. And not only that, if they do break it, they can rip pieces out of it, which it'll look tough if they rip pieces out of it, right? And then use those as weapons.
Yo, make it out of Lego.
And they're like smashing each other through the walls like Juggernaut, so that'll look great.
Lego's too hardcore. You got to dial it down there, man.
Mhm.
Somebody might die.
Somebody's already used Lego bricks, but not in that way.
Mm.
What was it called? Freaking Playmobil.
Playmobil. I think if they threw each other against the walls there, they'd bounce. Might as well have a Jello wall match.
I challenge you to a Bill Cosby challenge.
Oh no, that sounds entirely different, Addy.
That's true.
No, the steel chairs that are under the ring are just replaced with fucking roofies. That's the Bill Cosby challenge. And I'm going to hell now. I'm going to hell now. Bye, guys. Let me just tip my hat. I gotta step out. I'm going straight to hell. The devil has arrived. He's here to escort me personally.
He's tapping on your shoulder right now.
I figured out a better way to word it. I challenge you to a Bill Cosby prison match.
It only applies for people that are, it only applies for like Terry Funk and Taker, who are just too old to go into prison. Who are and it's just that depressed mugshot of Cosby everywhere.
But the walls are Jello. Like I'm not sure how
so
they would.
Old,
They would
they
do it,
still can't break through the Jello.
yeah. Like, I'm not sure how they would do it, but they would need to make it to sell out of Jello and like see-through Jello.
Oh, the problem would be
Whoever eats themselves out first wins.
No, don't say that. Don't phrase it like that. Jesus Christ, Addie's just all over the place today.
I didn't think about the double entendre there.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
The Bill Cosby match where they have to eat themselves out. Like, I don't.
The ratings better be for a no boy.
How is this better than Punjabi prison? How, Addy? Well, like my idea was okay. We got a wall that can be broken down into foreign objects. That's great. The alternative,
The alternative of Jello.
okay. I don't think anything out of Fastlane's gonna beat that right there.
Just wait until they announce the Jello cell.
Oh,
No, just wait until they announce the Gel in a cell.
gel in a cell. Gel in a cell. Well, then it's not even people. Then it'd just be Jello in the cell. Which, I mean, if they could make wrestlers out of Jello, I'd be down with that, by all means.
Imagine the bumps they could take.
They just splatter. They just splatter across the floor.
They'd only get 1 or 2 bumps out of them, but boy, would they be glorious.
All of the Jello wrestlers are Jeff Hardy.
A superplex would just be a murder-suicide.
Every wrestler is Chris Benoit.
Oh, no, that's a double murder-suicide, Addy.
That's for the handicap matches.
Okay. Oh my god, what is wrong with this episode today?
I don't know.
Volcano has had an interesting look into the first 3 episodes of the podcast right here. I don't even remember what happened on the first 2 episodes, but I feel like it was also something stupid.
It's a wonder she comes back.
Oh, Jesus. So, Fastlane, huh?
Yep.
Did nothing else happen?
I don't think so. Not that I recall.
Alright, did you do anything else this week?
Probably not. I did play a little bit of Rainbow as I was waiting on the podcast to start. Mozzie, still very good. Gridlock, coming around on her. Her LMG is a lot better than her primary weapon that I was using previously. Not a flashy operator, but still some potential there. Not a complete lost cause, hopefully.
Yeah, when I heard about Gridlock's design and I looked at her visual design, I'm like, boy, this is not a money character. This is substance over style, definitely. I mean, even the character design is the type that people tend to react badly to. Like, Zarya still suffers in Overwatch, and Zarya's got a weird playstyle, but I also feel like there's a lot of bias against Zarya just because of her character design.
Right. Zarya is actually one of my favorites in there. It's just oftentimes it's hard to get your charges going because you'll pop your shield at the wrong time, or if you throw a shield on someone else, they won't run into fire to increase your damage output. They'll actually just run away. So
the problem I run into is... Keep going.
She's a character that's also kind of very dependent on her teammates to not be cowards, which doesn't always work out.
The thing I always run into with Zarya is, like, me coming from Team Fortress, which is basically a sister game to Overwatch, I'm used to the heavy,
Right.
So I take one look at Zarya and I'm like, oh, it's a muscular Russian carrying a big gun. Clearly, this is the tank character that should be killing everything by pointing at it. No. Her grenade launch feature is actually kind of better than her laser.
Right.
I should put more time into Overwatch. But
Me too.
on PC, it's such a pain in the ass because the Blizzard launcher updates itself so often. And it updates itself at huge, like it's 2 gigs of an update for the Blizzard launcher, and then it's like 50 gigs of an update for Overwatch. I'm like, ugh. I'd rather just not play. Right, so going back to Siege, so her LMG is actually not terrible?
Yeah, I'd say it's one of the better LMGs in the game.
That's shocking to me anytime there's an LMG in a game that doesn't suck.
Right, because like you've played Capital, so I don't know if you've used his LMG or not. I'm pretty sure you did though at one point.
I went out
And
of my way not to touch Capital's LMG because I knew it would suck. Because I went straight
yeah,
for that marksman rifle. Or, well,
right.
close enough.
If you try to aim down sights with his LMG, it takes you like a full minute to actually get down sights, or at least it feels like it. But where Gridlock differs is that her aiming down sight time is actually a lot faster than the typical LMG.
Okay. What if they didn't? What if they explained that and said it's not that the LMG is any lighter, it's just that Gridlock is so beefy that she can heft around that big machine gun like it's nothing.
Right.
Tiny little Capital with his smoker's lung is having a little bit of trouble there, but
Yeah. Gridlock 3 armor, whereas Capital is 3 speed. So yeah, there should be a difference there when you're aiming down sights with an LMG.
yeah.
So even if that's not intentional, I'm glad it's there. The amount of rounds that you get in it, which I believe is 60, it's on par with a Lion's primary, his machine gun, which is not an LMG. But at the same time, the recoil on his gun is a lot worse than Gridlock's. Gridlock's LMG is actually quite manageable.
Huh.
So
an LMG with recoil that doesn't send you aiming at the sky. I'm shocked.
right, it's like, because it's the best LMG in the game, I want to say, it's almost like it's not an LMG at all. So I've been having a lot of fun with that gun.
It's
Got a
SLMG.
lot of decent results out of it. Go ahead, Addy.
I said it's an SLMG.
SLMG.
One does have to question the purpose of existence for LMGs in a game that doesn't really have suppressive fire.
Right. Whenever I use Finka, I will often go with the LMG that she has that Fuse also has access to. Just because if there's a soft wall there, I like to just tear that thing apart and hope somebody's on the other side, which has actually aided me more times than you might think. So a lot of fun can be had from the LMGs, but they're not really the most viable of options.
Yeah, the only character I use an LMG on is Maestro, and he has nothing else, so...
Right. His other primary is a shotgun that's, well, if you ask anyone who plays Rainbow Six, then they'll tell you the shotguns are the absolute worst in the game.
Except for breaking
Maestro's
walls.
doubly so. Yeah, except for breaking walls. That's why you'll only ever see shotguns run on the British shops for the most part, who have access to the SMG-11.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Shotguns are good if you have an SMG secondary.
Right. It's like, in the rare instances that you're close enough for the shotgun to have maximum power, they're actually very good, and that's why I love using them, because it's just so satisfactory when you actually get a shotgun kill. It's a lot like whenever I played Widowmaker in Overwatch. I didn't get kills very often, but when I got those headshots, boy oh boy, those are addictive. And you want more of them. But yeah.
And
Not
now
the
I'm
greatest
imagining you going
overall
up to a
decision.
dealer like, hey, you got any headshots?
Gets shot in
That's
the head.
how it was, man. Those are hard times for me. Hard times, daddy.
Hot times. You gotta make that the softest R possible.
Yeah.
An R so soft it becomes an H. Hard times, daddy.
Hard times, did it? But yeah,
Alright.
lost the road aside. Not the road aside.
Huh?
Whatever.
Okay.
Move on.
Okay, yeah, let's move on. That was gibberish. Right, so, Pink, there anything else to say about Siege?
I don't think there is.
Oh,
I've
how's
not
the new
discovered
Outback
anything
map?
new. What's that?
How's the new Outback map?
I really like it. There is a glitch on it where there's a window that you can rappel through that you're not supposed to be able to.
That seems like a weird thing to happen on accident.
Yeah,
So
I'm not sure if there was supposed to be a breakable window in its place and it's not there, or if they like deleted that window in development but then forgot to take out the option to rappel through, because attackers can't jump through it. But no, sorry, defenders cannot jump through it to get to the outside, but the attackers, if they rappel, they can jump in. So
is it an
very-
open window, or is it just...
it's not an open window. You can't even tell the window is there because it's... I don't think you've actually been on Outback yet because I don't think we've played together recently.
Yeah.
But you know those basic windows that aren't actually the barricade kinds? They're just there for the map.
While I'm bricked up?
Yeah. You'll see the ones with the bars on them, or like on Oregon, they'll have the sandbags in them. So you can see that there's a window there, but it's not an actual gameplay aspect to the map. It's just the map itself.
Okay, so if something is blocking up this window you can go through?
Yes.
What?
This window is completely non-existent. You're basically vaulting through a wall.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's like, if you go onto YouTube and search it up, you'll probably find a lot of nonsense on it.
Let me
Yes.
ask Sam.
Yeah,
We
go
have a- we
ask
have a-
Sam real
Yeah,
quick.
we have
Why?
we have a direct line. We have a direct line to Ubisoft. So
All those times Addy is logged into For Honor, he's got direct access to Sam now.
Wait, can the defending team barricade it?
No.
Oh, that's bad.
Yep.
Ooh, that's really
So-
bad.
What people have been doing is they put frost traps in that location.
But what if you don't have
because-
frost?
If you don't have frost, you stand there and camp it and hope that somebody either comes through and dies immediately, or you hope that they don't know about the exploit.
if you don't have frost, then you just send Capcom.
But he can't put a
Yeah.
he can't put a cap can on it because it's not an actual window. It's a wall on their side.
They should make it so Capcom Storage is like the payday version, where you can just put it anywhere.
Well, then you know people put it in the wrong spot. You know
Oh, yeah.
somebody put it on the roof going diagonally. As if Capcan needs more trouble. Is Capcan back to being a good pick? Because I know he was super underpowered for a while there.
He was underpowered, and they've not changed him. But if you've seen the little wind delta chart that I posted a week ago, I want to say
Yeah, I think
he's
he was one
actually
of the-
got a very, very high win percentage.
and a low pick rate, right?
Yeah, low pick rate, high win percentage. I think it's because, in everyone's mind, it's like they all know Capcan isn't quite viable. So they're not used to seeing Capcan. So if you've gone so long without facing that operator, you're not really 100% familiar with their skills anymore. So you'll just go ahead and walk through a doorway or vault through a window, and then, oops, there was kind of a landmine there. So I think nothing about him has changed, but because everyone has evolved with the game, they've kind of sort of forgot about Capcan, and now it's come back to bite them.
All right, so Sam has been hardwired to run you in a circle about Outback.
Oh man, somebody hardwired Sam.
That doesn't sound good.
Okay, I found the win rate, pick rate charts that you put up earlier, and my God, poor Castle. 10% pick rate and negative 3% win rate.
Yep.
And is Castle... I've not heard anything about Castle getting an update. Are they just straight up not planning on actually updating him?
I don't think they are.
It seems like it would be a big focus.
You would think so. Because they've done things with Clash, and she's right next to Castle there. And they've recently done things with Mute as well. But his win delta is actually higher than Smoke's there, as I'm going back and looking at that.
Are they at
Though
this?
I guess they did recently buff the SMG-11 a little bit to more its former state, so that's also a slight buff to Smoke.
Are they?
So that's...
Hang on. Are they at this point just saying Chanka and Castle are so fucked from a design perspective that they cannot be redeemed?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It's like, Castle, I know he's a tricky one because sometimes if you can get that Castle barricade to work in your favor, it can win you a match, but most of the times it won't. And it also suffers from the fact that it is just a bulletproof barricade. And how do you counter a bulletproof barricade? Well, the answer is quite simple. You put a breach charge on it. And most of the attackers have access to breach charges.
Even if they
Or
don't,
something else.
Glaz's sniper rifle can take out the barricades in 3 hits.
Yes. It's like there's just there's too much counterplay to Castle. And Castle's guns are not the best of the defensive team. It's like his SMG, it's a fun weapon, but I'm pretty sure statistically Mute's SMG is better. Legion, as you can see, is overpicked and too strong right now on that win delta and pick rate percentage. His SMG is one of the better ones on the defensive side. Castle and Doc both have better SMGs. Frost has a fantastic, I think it's an SMG.
It is whatever you want it to be. It's a fucking sniper rifle if you want it.
It's like there are just too many operators with better guns than him and better abilities than him.
Speaking of what the
really
what the fuck's up with Rook? Sitting at a cool 20% pick rate, but a 3% win rate?
Right. It's like for him,
Anchor struggle. Struggle.
Yeah, not Castle. Rook is a very weird one because although his ability benefits the entire team and makes him just a little bit harder to kill, this is also statistics from ranked PC and Platinum and Diamond, which is like the highest you can possibly be ranked. Yeah. So it's like you wouldn't think that Rook's armor would play much of a factor into his win rate,
and it's on
but
PC.
Apparently it does.
It's on PC. This is where the headshot machines live and thrive.
Yes. So it's like, I don't understand how he ranks so high, but yeah, he's at the very top right now.
Where the hell are those
underpicked, but way too strong?
Where the hell are those crazy Counter-Strike guys that would get, mid-jump headshots with a rifle from the other side of the fucking map? Where'd they go?
To CSGO.
Yeah, I guess they did.
But yeah, also just taking a look at the attack curve in Delta. When's my boy Fuse getting help? also freaking bloody Jackal.
Yeah, I was about to say, Fuse does not need it as much as Cappy or Jackal.
Right.
Poor Cappy. And look at Ash over there with 70% pick rate. She's not even that strong, it's just the meme.
I don't know, dude.
Her R4C was genuinely strong to a point where they've actually removed the ACOG from it. And now her pick rate is at a negative 70%.
Also, if you could choose, wouldn't you go with having no hitbox?
But I mean, even back then, her actual win rate was worse than Twitch, Thermite, Glaz, and Blackbeard. Speaking of which, Glaz having that high of a win rate, really?
Because way back then he was a really strong pusher for the objective. They're changing that now, but yeah, he was very strong because that thermal scope it's a beast.
The smoke grenade stat. There we go. Yeah. Blackbeard's a little. I don't know what to think about Blackbeard. His I don't know. I guess since I've only used Blackbeard and Terrorist Hunt, yeah, I guess he's gonna suck there.
Yeah.
When they have the numbers advantage, that shield is not much help.
Nope.
Yeah.
But in one-on-one, if you can deflect at least one headshot, and you're able to kill the other guy, that's where his strength lies.
Yeah, Blackbeard also needs help. Where even is he? I can't see him.
Who?
needs
What?
help?
Where?
At Dutch.
Thatcher?
No, Blackbeard. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, he's in the too strong category, Addy. He does
How
not
the
need
hell?
help. He has legitimately got the best win rate out of any of the attacking operators.
Alright, nerf his guns, but make the shield better. It is my opinion on him.
No!
I don't even think his guns are that good. I actually, at one point, thought they needed a buff. Because his machine gun, his recoil is all over the place. And his marksman rifle, it's a marksman's rifle, so it's not bad. But it's not particularly good either.
Huh. I would say probably the most surprising one here is the fact that Hibana is lower than Thermite. How does that happen? How does Hibana land lower than Thermite?
That is an excellent question.
Because I know she has to use like 2 or 3 of her charges to get a sizable hole for people. But she doesn't have to walk all the way over there. Thermite does.
Right.
There's also the thing of not everyone owns Hibana.
Right, but not everyone owns Blackbeard. Or wait, hang on, no. Hang on, there's someone who had a really high pick rate, even though they were clearly...
But yeah, there's also that she's on the other side where they are overpicked. She's not underpicked, she's overpicked, but she's too weak. So this isn't a matter of there aren't very many people playing as her. There are a lot of people playing as her, but they're all losing.
Yeah. I was getting pick rate and win rate confused for a little bit, and I went with Blackbeard. But yeah, out of the highest pick rates, Ashe is in the lead by far, but again, she's the meme. But going, like, just after her in the pick rate are... Oh, Sophia?
Which?
Sophia? Which twin is that?
Zofia, because she's a tagger.
Yeah. Sophia, the new sniper guy?
Maverick,
and Hibana. So, I mean, a lot of the free operators are actually very low in pick rate. I mean, look at Fuse's pick rate. Fuse's pick rate is hilarious. He's nearly 0. If you look at the defenders chart, then Chonka is 0.
Yeah, what they need to do with Fuse is just make it so instead of the Matryoshka, he just spawns a tank.
Everything with Addy goes back to here's my main, make him OP, please.
I just want to be able to have a better gun with the shield. That's all I want for Fuse, genuinely.
Give him the shield in one hand and his AK-47 in the other.
It's not even a 47. I think it's a 44 or something.
No, it's
They
not
can always
47.
make it buff,
But
they
that's the
make it
one they
buff.
had in GTA.
Oh yeah, that hot Fuse shield build.
I
Can't get enough
like
of
my
that.
shield guy. I like my shield guys. I just wish that they weren't restricted to the pistol and the pistol only.
They're always going to be restricted to the pistol for balance reasons.
He just wants a machine gun to be attached to the shield. And he wants the shield to be fully extendable like Montaña's.
More expendable. It goes all the way around his body.
He wants to walk up to the defenders in a cocoon with like guns pointing out in all directions.
And he can sprint
And he's
like
just going to
Blitz.
spin around holding the trigger down. He's a little hurricane of death.
But then Lion gets him anyways. Okay, so what were we talking about? All right, Siege. I went from talking about Siege to forgetting that I was talking about Siege. Is that about all you done this past week, Pink?
Yes.
All right, Addy.
Yeah.
It's time.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Put up a timestamp.
Hang on. Addy warned me ahead of time that the meme supply was running a bit low this week, so we had to go to desperate lengths.
Yeah, so let's start with the worst one.
What is that?
Right? Okay, you're correct. That is the worst one.
So, Pink, that is Goofy with a Sharingan.
Okay, Addy, I don't think that's the part Pink was confused about.
Which part were you confused about?
Take a
Pink?
guess.
Everything except the fact that it's goofy.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, from far away, it looks like he's got luchador masks in his eyes.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Addy, just shoot. Hang on. Let me... Ah.
Oh, right. Volcano, you're getting, I'm gonna expose you now, because I found your day job.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Alright, put up a timestamp. Let's hope this actually uploads. There we go.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's on a time. Okay, there we go. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Poor Kermit. He's fallen on hard times.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, now that we're imagining the Volcano is literally just Kermit on the other side, I'm imagining, like... Now everything Volcano says, I imagine Kermit doing the, like, exaggerated movements and everything. And the big wavy arms while she's talking.
Yep, I'm totally waving them arms.
Alright. Shoot the next
Anytime
one.
Volcano isn't talking, she's playing the banjo.
Yeah.
Yep,
No, she's sipping tea.
Yeah. Both.
doing both.
One in each hand.
Yep.
Put on a timestamp.
Hang on. Yep. There we go. Here we go. Let's see. This is good. This is a good meme. Oh shit.
It's not. I'm gonna tell you it's not.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I until I saw the shitpost bot part, I thought that was a real thing.
Yeah, that's why I saved that, because it could have been real. Alright. Put
His
on a
face.
timestamp.
Can we stop and look at the face?
Yeah.
It's projecting.
Oh boy.
His face isn't on his head. He's projecting his face off like it's a fucking laser. And the Trump Tower looks like a stack of pencils
It does.
with an eraser on top,
Yeah.
which means that this Trump is tiny.
Alright, put on a timestamp.
Okay, give me just a moment.
You're also gonna hate this one. I'm gonna warn you.
Alright, let's see it. Let's see what I'm gonna hate. Let's bring the hate on right here. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. I really...
Alright,
you're
you
just
can put
bringing
the next one.
cringe today. Addy went to his shitpost bot 5000 and he typed in, "Just give me some cringe."
Yeah, shitpost replied, "I got you, fam."
I was about to fucking say. you.
Alright, put the next timestamp.
Whew.
This is also a shitpost bot meme, by the way.
All
But I don't
shitpost bot today. All shitpost all day.
Yeah, I told you it's mostly gonna be.
Oh my god, those are the worst subtitles. Why are they... I can't read.
I don't know. It's just how the picture was made.
Guys, I think shitpostbot needs to be fired. They need to get a new one, because I genuinely can't read that. I don't get it.
We need to replace 5,000 with 6,000.
Did you not watch Yu-Gi-Oh at all?
I did.
Like, can you not read the subtitles at all?
I can't.
I finally can read them. I zoomed in.
I will have to somehow find a way to zoom in on that first picture because I cannot read those.
I'll read it to you in a second.
Okay. I think I can read it. Let's see. My grandkid's dick has no pathetic carbs, Kaiba.
But it does
contain a guy with his eyeballs popping out of his head.
Do you not see what it says under him? It says really big trouble.
I can read that. I can. I have eyes. Black text on white background. I can read, Addy. I am capable of that much.
But yeah. Also, there was this thing that I found that wasn't shitpost bot. You can.
For once. Oh, I'm choking. Ooh. That. I mean,
yeah, the resemblance, it's actually quite uncanny.
That is a fairly common look, though. I never thought about it. Well, I kind of did think about it, but yeah, Bayonetta is looking a lot like a soccer mom these days.
The first game released in like 2009, so it's been a decade.
Yeah, oh my god, it has. I do not think of Bayonetta. I think of Bayonetta as one of the newer franchises, so I don't like to think about that.
So yeah, aside from the meme hour.
And they still haven't come out with Bayonetta 3.
So today, I got recommended a new band by Spotify, and it's my new favorite band.
William Shatner?
No.
He did music?
Is.
Yes, William Shatner does do music. Spotify recommended me him once.
Oh man.
I started it up. And it was the weirdest thing. It was like I remember it was like punk music. It was punk music but the rest of the band was playing punk music. William Shatner wasn't so much singing so much as he was monologuing, which, I mean, it's William Shatner. That isn't a shock.
That's also punk music. That's also most shitty punk music that I've heard.
Yeah.
So, he fits in.
It wasn't even like, I'm not talking like Sex Pistols type monologuing or that whole thing. I mean, legitimately, he was talking as if he was acting in a film.
Oh.
As if he was doing like a poetry read almost. And the lyrics were about how he's just a good old poor boy who's going out there and sleeping with the rich young girls that want to experiment with the poor boys. Like, I'm not kidding. The lyrics of the song are pretty much, I met this hot rich girl and she was like, I'd like to see what it's like to nail a poor guy for once. And I was like, I'm right here. And that's it. That's a fucking song.
What?
That's it.
I don't for 1 second believe that William Shatner is a poor boy.
No. I don't imagine that album picked up many Grammys. I'm going to be honest.
So who's better, William Shatner or freaking Terry Funk?
William
The juvenile delinquent or the poor boy?
You know what? I cannot comment on this affair at this moment. Contact my PR representative.
But yeah, so the band that I got recommended was a band called Fake Type. It is a Japanese electronic band, and the thing is, they're not just an electronic band. They do electro swing, and they don't just do electro swing. They do electro swing rap.
Japan.
Oh man.
So it's Japanese electro swing rap, and the singer sings when he sings like he's from a freaking pop punk band. So so whenever he does freaking scat, it's screamo scat.
He's trying to do scat to the rhythm of the like metal band going nuts in the background. Is that what you're saying?
No, what's happening is that you know how people who do screamo gargle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gargling while doing scat.
Just the thought of this is amusing, I should note.
I can link you my favorite song from them, so you can give them a look later. But
That's two
Yeah,
songs
so
we
I
have to listen to this week in anticipation of next week's podcast.
yeah, but basically the guy like the thing is what happened is I went looking for, and I'm gonna spoil something because for the heists I decided that for the GTA heists I would edit them so they would be payday heists, but instead of the normal payday electronic music, it would be electro swing if I can find enough electro swing. If not, we'll just default to freaking payday music after the first one.
Yeah.
But so I went looking for electro swing so I can find good background musics, and the thing was just like, since you've been listening to electro swing, why don't you listen to electro swing rap by this Japanese band?
I don't understand music. The genres amaze me every time I hear about them.
The thing
Yeah,
is,
you like
like,
rock, but do you like electro swing, metalcore, rap, hip hop, pop theory with classical elements?
the worst part is I genuinely like this song.
Yeah.
I like how it sounds.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you what you like and dislike. I could tell you what's good and what's bad, but I don't know anything about music, so I can't.
So here's that song
Okay.
for later. And yeah, so basically, how I can describe this song is it starts off as electro swing, so I was just like, okay, Japanese electro swing, I can get into this. And then the guy starts speed rapping.
Okay.
Like genuinely, he starts doing Busta Rhymes. And I was blown away. Because, like, the thing is, I have a thing for weird music. There's a song called I can actually look it up because I have Spotify open. There's a song by The Future of the Left. That's the name of the band. That's called Mancasm. And I have no idea what the song is about because I'm sure that it's not about anything. But the song is just so weirdly put together that I like it.
Yeah.
So I do have a thing for weird music. And this thing was right up my alley because it's Japanese, it has rap in it, it has speed rap in it, and it's freaking electro swing. And it also has freaking pop punk elements. So it's like, how the hell? And then for the longest time I was like, I wish somebody would, since there's lots of good electro swing beats that would be good for rap music. Or I was like, why doesn't people take up on that? Or why don't people go and mix electro swing with metal somehow, since there are so many cores anyway? And it's like, Japan!
Yeah.
Not only do they do that, they did it in the same song somehow.
If you have a thought of, here's this weird thing I want to exist, take it to Japan. And bring it up with the producers. And as long as no one in your project does drugs, you'll be cool.
But yes, I think I've listened to most of their discography at this point, and I found them today. So
Yeah.
they're still a relatively new band, but as I've said, I like them. The funny thing about their naming scheme, by the way, is that all of their albums are blank. So the first album is Fake Box, then they have Fake Book, and then Fake Story, I think, is the third one, but I'm not sure.
Well,
And there's also yeah?
I do kind of like sticking with a theme.
Yeah, and they stick with this theme through their music as well, because there's, the intro track, which is just the singer guy talking in Japanese, I think.
Oh.
But there are also fake named songs that they have. Like, there's a song by them called Fake Brother. There's a song that's generally just titled Fake, Fake, Fake. So that's also a pretty good song by them, by the way. But yeah. Fake Type, give them a look. If you like weird shit, I guess.
All right.
Oh yeah, as for games, we tried to do. W and I tried to do Silent Hill. It didn't.
Because
Because
apparently
Konami.
Twitch and Mixer block it. That is confounding still.
Yeah, I mean, I could have done a workaround with YouTube and all that, but then I'd have to be streamed from my PC, and then The
And then
quality of the
Discord
video,
would shit itself.
yeah, and then the quality of the video would be pretty shit. And then the freaking audio would be distinct like when we did The Sims 2. So I'd have to freaking sync the audio every 5 seconds. So we decided not to. We decided to torch that idea. We'll come back to Silent Hill 2 and 3 whenever I have a better PC. I feel.
Or if I
But
figure
yeah.
out how to record PS2 stuff. Yeah.
I mean, the best way to do it is with a capture card. So I feel like I'll have a better PC before you have before you buy a capture card. But we may never know.
Yeah, we may never know.
So yeah, aside from that, I bought Mozzie.
Okay, what do you think of him?
I like him a lot. I like motocross Steve Irwin.
Ha!
That is what he looks like. When I first saw him, I had that at Pink. But yeah, his guns are pretty good. His second primary is not as good as the first one, but I still liked it a good bit, I'd say.
Okay.
The secondary department, but I'm not really good with his pistol, and I don't like shotguns. So with the secondaries, it's not really that easy for me with him. But yeah, otherwise right, I found a funny thing about his past. You can shoot the pests at people and they won't damage them. So I can just shoot the the hostage in the face with the pest, and it does nothing but bounce off of the hostage.
Oh, the little thing that takes control of the
Yeah.
Ha! I'd be amused if it did deal damage though.
Yeah, I also whenever we played together with Pink, I spent my time just taking pot shots at Pink with the pests, and didn't know what hit him.
Do you still
'Cause-
get the hit notification?
You do.
Oh, you do? Because I
Yeah,
know that
when you were smacking me, it would register as if I was being shot at, and it would do the little red screen effect and everything else like that. I was like, for a while, I thought I was legitimately being shot at, and didn't understand what was happening because the round hadn't even started yet.
You assumed Daddy was team killing you, but you didn't take any damage.
No.
That's weird
But-
then that it still registers a hit marker.
But the ops still make a hit sound as well.
Okay, so it's just like a slight prick, like ugh, but that's it.
Yeah.
It's amusing.
So that was funny. I like his reload animation a lot. I also like how there's a quirk to it. Because I didn't think that they would actually make a gameplay thing about it, but if you auto reload, if you don't manually press reload when you run out of ammo, then whenever you reload, you get one less ammo in the clip.
Really?
Yeah, I think he has 20 or 35 or 20 or 36 shots in a clip at a time. And if you don't press reload, then he really reloads to 25 or 35.
And this is for an assault rifle?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I feel like
So, yeah,
you
yeah.
just fire out a single round and then manually reload after you auto reload, right?
So what I'm doing is what you're saying. Like I do that with everyone. I just shoot once and then reload because I need to not run out of bullets. So yeah, I did that. I played a lot of For Honor. There's a new War Tiger event. It
New
has
cosmetics?
new cosmetics, a new freaking whatchamacallit, an outfit thing. You know, like a set. New weapons. And then you also get animals.
Oh, they
and
finally
also-
added followers.
Yeah, but they work like masks. Sadly. So what happened is that the knights got an eagle, I think. The Vikings got a raven, I think. The samurai got an owl, and the ruling got a phoenix or something like that. I don't freaking know. They got whole.
They got a mythical beast, and everybody else just gets an animal.
Yeah.
Does Odin have ravens or crows?
Ravens.
Ravens.
I wanna
okay,
say.
so it's a raven then. Huh.
So yeah.
How do they keep making new content for Honor? There's never any slow.
There's never what?
It feels like there's never a slowdown for Honor content. They're always making stuff for it.
Oh yeah.
How?
I mean, there's all those weeks when you get nothing but battle outfits,
Huh.
and like those aren't hard to make because I think the last battle outfits are actually just genuinely recolors of other ones,
Yeah.
or at least the samurai one was. So yeah. Also, Pink, you'll be glad to hear that if you buy the samurai animal outfit, the outfit is pink.
Perfect.
He's totally not going to buy that, but perfect.
I'll play a
I'm not even sure.
samurai.
I'm not even sure who we'd buy it for. Shug.
Shug. Definitely Shug.
Oh, that's true.
There's also a new emote that because the animals you can buy on after the event. The new emote you can't, however. And the new emote is Undertaker's Urn Taunt.
His urn taunt?
Yeah, the one where he goes on the knee and then raises his hand and then drops it. The soul one.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they put that in freaking For Honor. They also put in the soul. They also put in you claiming the soul. So that was funny.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, there's also the new timed mode, which is Dominion on the new map Harbor. But instead of it just being Dominion, they made it so there's minis everywhere. And instead of the normal Dominion zones, you have the breach zones.
Is there a difference?
Yes,
Wait, are you
in
on
Dominion
a
you
breach
can
map or are you on a Dominion map?
Dominion map.
Okay, but what's the difference between breach zones and Dominion zones?
In breach, a zone is by default a defender zone, and or if the attackers take it over, then it can be taken back.
Okay, and what do the extra minions do?
Take the zones.
Okay, so now all zones are contested. All zones are mid lane now. All zones
Yes.
are mid lane. Huh.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
that's the new timed mode, and this is, I believe, like until the 28th or so.
Why not just make it where there's 6 points, each of which there are 3 lanes, each of which has 2 points, and each lane has minions. We'll call it Defense of the Ancients. And there'll be a sequel made by Valve.
Why don't we give Berserker the ability to pull out a bow and arrow, and call him Uller?
I mean, he can throw axes, so he's almost there.
Yeah,
He's just got to kill Kinsei and steal his bow.
or any of the freaking Japanese people. I think, like, aside from Nobushi, I think she's the one who doesn't have a bow.
I think Nobushi does, but I might be wrong. Oh no, Nobushi calls in an arrow strike, right?
Yeah, Nobushi has 2 different arrow strikes, but that's it. And also Shinobi throws kunai. I sure can.
Of course he does.
Shinobi needs to be buffed so he can just throw a kunai somewhere and then teleport there. Because he's already a Naruto character, so might as well go all in.
Well, apparently Shaolin can teleport, so why the fuck not? Oh man, I wish feats weren't in that game. I wish it was just a fighting game, really. Anything else?
I think that's about all I've done. Because
Oh,
I spent most of the week freaking learning shit for school because I have a test next week. and editing the videos together. Also, I just uploaded 4 videos to the channel, one of which is GTA, so that's fun. It got copyright claimed immediately.
Please tell me
I
you're
mean,
being sarcastic.
Well, it wasn't a claim, but they did put ads on it, so
Well, I guess that's Rockstar. That's Take Two right there.
no, it wasn't because of GTA. It was because of the 40 seconds of deja vu I used.
Oh,
I counted, yes.
all right. And that's about it then.
Yeah.
All right. Volcano, what have you done in the past week?
I've played Super Smash Brothers and lost to Pink over and over.
Well, that's when you just go to
Oh.
Inkling.
No, I'm horrible as Inkling. I have beat him as Captain Falcon, though. That is all. Let's see. I also watched Spider-Verse again, and I went to see Captain Marvel a second time with Pink. Let's see. Oh, and that's kind of it. I don't do too terribly much. Oh, wait, no, I played Kirby Mass Attack the other day. Haven't played that game in like years. Just trying to finish it finally.
What platform was that one on?
Nintendo DS.
Okay, with Kirby games, I have so much trouble telling which platform each one was on. You know.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
I have a trouble discerning which Kirby game is which, so
I know which one is
Yeah.
Kirby Superstar, and I know which one is the original, but that's about it. I know Star Allies.
Yeah.
I know Star Allies because that's the only one I've played so far.
Oh, yeah.
Or the
I
demo.
played like 4 Kirby games at this point, but I still don't know which one's which. I know at least one of them was on the Super Nintendo, and that's about it.
Well, actually, that kind of leads into what I've done this past week. So, just this morning,
Hmm.
my dad was like, "Oh, hey, I love Donkey Kong. Can you put Donkey Kong on that Nintendo?" And I was like, "Yes, I
And
can,
then-
but there's a subscription thing I have to sign up for." And he's like, "Oh, well, what's the price?" And it dawned on me, I've never actually checked the price on Nintendo's subscription service.
So did you expect Dong?
Uh, I'm not sure what that means, eh? Because I know what that means on his face, but I don't know what you mean by it. If you're asking if I fucked my Nintendo Switch, the answer is no.
No, I'm asking if you bought Donkey Kong.
No. No. When my dad says Donkey Kong, he means Donkey Kong. He ain't meaning none of this rareware shit. He means Donkey Kong.
Ah, so does your dad not want to be freaking showered in coconut cream pies?
No, he doesn't. And in fact, he misses the majority of the references with Donkey Kong in Smash, even though he plays him a lot. And I'm cutting out super hard for you guys. I can see my icon
Yeah.
freaking out right now. And this really sucks because I don't want to repeat it because it'll come up in the podcast twice, but at the same time, you guys can't hear what I'm saying. Ugh. But I actually looked at Nintendo
most of
subscription service thing there, the Nintendo the NES Online thing, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why I was expecting the $60 a year thing that Sony and Xbox both have, and it is not that. It's actually
Instead, it's $60 a month.
yeah.
No.
It's $20 to a year. So this morning I downloaded the free trial to see what it's like, and I've only gotten to play 2 NES games so far. I put about legitimately a minute into Donkey Kong before my dad hopped on and then played it for 10 minutes. And then played Dr. Mario, and Dr. Mario is a fun spin on Tetris. I've never played Dr. Mario before in my life.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I haven't.
I have not either.
Dr. Mario was a big thing in my childhood, but then I'm pretty sure it was a freaking Chinese rip as well because I had Chinese NESs.
Nah.
Well, Famicoms, whatever. Semantics.
Yeah.
I'd ask if the subscription thing gets contra, but it 90%. I'm pretty 90% sure that it doesn't. And even if it did, it probably doesn't in Europe. So
I need to check because I only looked at I only scratched the surface of what they've got, and I already like what's on surface. Because we got Mario's 1, 2, and 3, which I've never played 1 or 2, and I've never played the original non-Super Mario, so that's gonna be a new experience. And I intend to go back and finish Super Mario 3 because I never finished it when I did play it back in the day. Metroid and Kirby, the first of either of those franchises, which I've not played. The first 2 Zeldas, which I've not played. River City Ransom, Double Dragon, Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
if it has it, then I recommend Adventure Island 2.
Yeah. Oh, I think it does. I think I did see that. So I'll check that out.
Yeah, Adventure Island. I actually liked better than Mario. It was confusing because
Wait, Mario Adventure Island
Yeah.
or just Adventure Island?
there is no Mario Adventure Island.
Okay, Mario's franchise is so
It's-
huge, I wasn't for sure.
It's Hudson's Adventure Island 2.
Okay.
But you asking me if it's Mario's Adventure Island is actually funny because it ties into my story. Because when I originally had that game for my Chinese Famicom, well, China, so they replaced the normal guy's name. I forget his or face, whatever. I forgot his name, but they replaced his face with Mario's from Super Mario 1. So for the longest time, I just knew that game was Island Mario. So
Island Mario. Oh, they've also got Wario Woods on there. I didn't know there was a Wario game on the NES.
I didn't either.
What do Wario games even play like? Do you go to victory by
I
farting everywhere? Is like what?
I only played the fourth Mario world. I think that was on the GBA. I want to say, and yeah, that was pretty fun.
My understanding,
Instead of
I knew Wario took over the Mario Land series from Mario, and I knew it was more combat focused. Like, doesn't he have a shoulder barge that just lets him kill anything in front
yeah,
of him?
he Shao Kahn's people basically in those games.
He points at them and yells, "You suck!"
Yeah, but with more wah. Wah, you suck.
Okay. Now that we're thinking about it, Shao Kahn being playable again in MK11, he better have a taunt button. I don't care if anyone else in Mortal Kombat has a taunt button, but Shao Kahn better have a taunt button.
All of Shao Kahn has three of the face buttons for taunting and one of them for shoulder.
Yeah. If you press forward in that button, shoulder barge. If you press back in that button, hammer throw. You don't need anything else.
No, forward and that button for shoulder, backwards and that button for the the projectile he stole from Johnny Cage, and then up and that button for the hammer throw.
Ah, yeah. I'm the final boss, but I'm gonna zone you out.
Also the down and that button for the Triple HD.
Ah, there we go. Ah. So, yeah, the surface it's actually really good. Not only because the controls are very, very tight for NES games. Donkey Kong's controls not so tight, but I mean, anyone who's ever played a game of Donkey Kong in their life knows that's probably one of the loosest games that's ever been designed.
Yeah.
Tight for its time, we can say that.
Oh, you were talking about the normal Donkey Kong, and I've been thinking of the third one.
Yeah.
I think the one where you sprayed freaking pepper spray up Donkey Kong's ass.
Ah, okay. I've not done that yet, but you know.
Let me even check if that was actually Donkey Kong or if that was another freaking Chinese rip, because I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. You know how Super Mario World 2 is... Super Mario Brothers 2 is different in America than it is in Japan? That's apparently every Nintendo game for Addy now.
No, Contra was the same. It's just that the thing with games close to Mario is, or things that they could put Mario in. They did. Nope, that actually is Donkey Kong 3. Yes.
All right. I'll have to.
So I'm not.
I'll have to check the entertainment
I'll,
service to see if I can blow pepper spray up Donkey Kong's ass.
put up a timestamp and I'll send a picture.
Okay, give me just a moment. Oh wow, that is actually pretty good timing.
There we go. So what? So how this game worked?
That is
that
the
you had
look of a man who has had pepper spray blown up his ass.
Yeah. So what happened here is from what I remember is that Donkey Kong could hit you with bees, and the Space Invaders also were there for some reason. You had the 3 steps, where you had to make Donkey Kong go up and then grab something. I think. And what you sprayed him with changed on the level. So for the first level, which is this one, I believe, it can't be, whatever, I don't know. But basically, the color of what you sprayed changed. So like it might have been water, or next time it might have been pepper spray. Or I actually think the pepper spray was an upgrade from the water. Something like that.
Why did they take Mario and put him in Space Invaders?
No idea.
All right.
I've actually got a quick question here.
Yeah?
Is this where you developed your phobia of bees?
No. No, that actually possible. That's actually possible. Now that I think about it.
I'm looking at
But
this
no, I
picture
don't
all
think
different
so.
kinds of ways. I don't see how that sprite at the bottom is supposed to be Mario.
I was wondering the same thing. I was
I
just
think
looking
I
at
think it's Jumpman.
Oh, Jumpman.
Like,
There we go.
I think it's Proto Mario.
Well, I mean, even in the original Donkey Kong, you could see Mario's mustache.
Right. This just looks like a warped mess.
Man, I think of Mario as being a fairly chubby guy now. I forgot how chubby Mario was back in the original Donkey Kong. Like, in the original Donkey Kong, he has 25% nose, 25% mustache, 50% ass.
You need something to ground pound with.
Oh man, you know what I also forgot about the original Donkey Kong? The original
Yeah?
Donkey Kong had fall damage.
Oh right.
It did.
Yes.
Fall damage in a Mario game. That is crazy looking back.
Also, you're gonna I don't know. If you have somebody to play with, you might not be that disappointed in the original Mario, but I know that I had it for my Famicom and we never played it, so
Yeah.
then again with me it was mostly freaking Dragon Ball Shinbu Toden, freaking Street Fighter 2 and Contra. So
Street Fighter 2 was SNES.
not in China.
Not China. Oh man.
I had this version of I actually still have the cartridge actually. It was 3 games, one of them was Street Fighter, another one was some anime game, and I don't remember what the third one was. It was like some army game, doesn't matter. But it was a 3-in-1, and the version of Street Fighter it had 4 people in it. It had Ryu, Chun-Li, Bison, and I have no recollection of who the last one was, but it's
Too bad.
Guile.
I
So-
was hoping it was just a made up Chinese character. It's Batman. It's Batman.
Yeah.
Lightning McQueen.
But yeah, you had those 4 characters, and it was like they actually tried converting shit because I wouldn't know how to play Street Fighter if not for that game. But oh boy, like I remember Bison's slide was busted beyond belief, like even more so than in actual Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Like you could juggle people with it from one end of the screen to the other
Ooh.
and shit like that. So yeah, that was fun.
It sounds like fun. Well, me as a Bison main, that does sound like fun. What are the combo possibilities of baseball sliding? Well, let's see. I can just repeat it over and over. That's the dumbest thing in fighting games. When you encounter, like any old fighting game where balance wasn't something people gave a shit about, the dumbest thing is when a move combos into itself infinitely.
Oh, you mean like how I did with Fink in freaking Injustice?
Yeah. It's worse. It's worse than when you got to combo 2 or 3 moves together to get an infinite going. A 1-button infinite is just the dumbest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also remember none of the stages had a movement aside from the Chinese one where they animated the chicken getting choked.
Yep. All right, China. You choose an odd part of yourselves to show off, but let's see it. That's why they exported the game. It's meant to threaten you. If you come over, if you mess with us, we're gonna strangle your chickens. Or we'll strangle our chickens, which I think it might be a double entendre.
It is.
I mean, that would scare me off. I'll be
doubt.
shipping in like, hey, we're gonna invade China, and we get there, and everybody's just choking their chicken, and I'm like, you know what? China's a silly place. Let's turn around. Let's head. Never mind. Let's invade Russia instead while we're here.
But
And Russia, they're choking their chickens while wrestling a bear naked, and you're like, all right, well, this isn't any better.
Time to leave.
you know what
Just
choking the
invade
chicken
Ohio.
is? No.
Ohio.
But yeah. I'm thinking of other freaking stupidest. Oh right, there was this anime game that I had because of freaking Chinese NES. That was fun. It was of the anime titled Samurai Pizza Cats.
Sounds like my kind of show. Is that like a weird spin-off of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Are these like, middle-aged samurai pizza cats?
Retired Samurai Pizza Cats.
Samurai pizza cats on the way to get their pension.
Let me see if I can find some info on that game while you actually talk about. Oh no! I just wrote in Samurai Pizza or Pids, and it came up with the anime.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Oh, okay. You go ahead and finish your thought.
Yeah, I found a picture of the anime.
Okay, give me a second to set up a timestamp. Timestamp powers activate.
Anime.
You know what? Yeah, I like this. I wouldn't watch this now, but I mean.
And then here's how the video game looked. I remember that I actually liked it because it had. But I'm pretty sure it had all of the freaking characters playable.
Why are they dressed like Mega Man?
I was wondering that. I was like, they look like Mega Man.
Oh shit! Never mind. Google, why have you forsaken me?
We got Mega Cat in the background. We got Roll. Wait, is it Roll? Roll's the dog. What am I talking about?
No, that's Rush. Rush Coil.
Rush is the dog. Right. Roll. Yeah. We got Mega.
Roll's the sister.
We got Roll Cat in the background. We got Gundam Cat in the front. That's real weird.
So put up another timestamp.
Okay, give me just a moment. Near perfectly a minute later.
And here's how the video game looked.
Yep, that's an NES game right there. It looks like puke. Is that Patrick Starr?
Oh my gosh.
It's Patrick Starr going through his midlife crisis, so he's got a goatee, and he shaved off the top of his own head. And
I think that's supposed to be a. I don't know, but yeah. So basically, what happened with this? I'm not sure if this was ever released outside of freaking.
I know I've never heard of it. So.
Yeah.
Oh hey, listen to the freaking name of the game. Kiatto Ninden Tiandi. So yeah, I can't find info about the game. Oh, there is a video game. There was a game for the Wii.
Isn't it?
Oh no. No, freaking hell. They were in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
Oh my god, they were. I thought I recognized them from somewhere. These are Tatsunoko characters, aren't they?
No.
They're Capcom?
Oh wait, no, they are Tatsunoko. Yeah, Tatsunoko production.
Mm.
I was about to say, if they were on the Capcom side, I'd remember them by being like, what the...
If they were on the Capcom side, hey, do you think you'd have seen a lot more of them?
I'd be like, oh yeah, the classic Capcom lineup. We got Dead Rising, Street Fighter, Resident Evil, Samurai Pizza Cats.
Mm.
But yeah, so basically, this game, I actually remember really liking this game because well, basically it was Mega Man, but instead of switching gun types and shit, we just had different cats who did different things. You had a bat cat that could fly.
The problem with that
Wow.
kind of game is you raise the question of why don't they all just be there at once?
Because of 100 limitations.
Yeah. Well, then you're just playing like Wonderful 101, right?
Yeah.
Everybody gang up on this one dude. Kick his ass.
Oh, hey, there was an English dubbed version in 2013. It's also on Crunchyroll, apparently.
Huh. Boy, Tatsunoko took their sweet time with that dub, didn't they?
Yeah.
20 years later.
Originally, it aired on Tokyo TV Tokyo from February 1st, 1990 to February 12th, 1991. It had 54 episodes.
What
Someone
happened?
picked up the North American rights to the series.
What happened?
And
What happened
Hold
in
on.
anime? Really, where it went from Akira and Ghost in the Shell and Cowboy Bebop and what have you, and Samurai Pizza Cats to what it is now? What happened?
I don't know, but actually it aired in America in 91, I think. Or at least they made an English version.
You know what? I think Miyazaki saw this in 90, but then he saw the transformation into Naruto and whatever random porn anime is out there now. And that's where Miyazaki made the famous gif of him putting out the cigarette and saying anime was a mistake. That's one of my favorite gifs on the internet. It's absolute. Because, anytime you run into an anime fan, like, you just gotta bring up, oh, hey, the greatest auteur of anime in history that everybody loves says anime is crap.
I don't disagree with him. Like as much as I enjoy Naruto as a guilty pleasure or whatever the hell because of nostalgia, most of the anime I'm interested in, if I'm interested in them, aren't made today.
Yeah.
Or they are related to Sengoku Basara, in which case they're literally just freaking going through the motions, so whatever. They might as well not be made today.
Yeah, that seems like pure fan service. Anytime you mention something involving that franchise that's come out in the last 5 years, it's just fan service.
Yeah.
Like, they're in school. Like, oh my god, really, Japan? This is the fictional equivalent of masturbating right here. The writing equivalent of masturbating, you know?
My favorite part of that series is how it's literally just the third season. Like, it's literally just the third season, but in school. That's it.
I don't understand Japan.
It's still the Japanese warlord. They still have the same conflicts, but instead of ruling the land, it's being freaking class representative.
This seems like I don't get it. It seems like okay. Who else remembers the Simpsons gag Baby Watchman?
Baby what?
Baby
Watchman.
Watchman.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. There's an episode of The Simpsons where the Simpsons family goes to Comic-Con and they run into Alan Moore, the writer of Watchmen. And someone, is it Comic Book Guy or is it Bart, that then tries to get Alan Moore to sign a copy of Baby Watchman. And Alan Moore just loses his shit, rips his shirt off, he's super muscular, he starts tearing the place apart.
It's Bart, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was Bart. It'd somehow be funnier if it was Comic Book Guy, though, you know? Because Comic Book Guy seems like the kind of nerd who would bother to go and get a VHS copy of Star Wars The Holiday Special, right? So anyways, back to me talking about the Nintendo Entertainment Software Service, whatever the fucking thing is. You know how far they went with trying to make it good for idiots like me in the modern day?
Yeah?
Save states. It has save states.
Does it have rewinds?
What?
Rewind.
It does not
and
have
it
the rewind.
rewind.
No, it only has save states.
Oh, that's a shame. Does it have Earthbound?
No, Earthbound is SNES. Because
Oh, right.
that leads into what I was about to say. This service, honestly, like, I am considering just shelling out the $20 for a year-long thing. But the way they could absolutely make this sell to everybody is throw SNES and Nintendo 64 on there.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that's probably too much. That's probably just consuming the entirety of the virtual console. But, I mean, because currently it's limited to 2-player, and that's unfortunate because I was mostly trying to look for 4-player games on Switch that I could play with my family. But man, could you imagine having GoldenEye? Because that would just be the best thing to have for the family, right there, GoldenEye.
Right.
Yes.
I just wish that they had some way to have DS games on it, since it's already somewhat portable as well.
The screen on the Switch isn't a touchscreen, is it?
I
I-
think it is actually, but I don't remember.
I never checked.
I want to say yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, because I remember
I-
I had typed stuff on that. That's
Yep.
right.
Okay, I've not had any games that made use of it yet, but that's because I've only had Kart and Smash Brothers. I guess they wouldn't have much use for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a new spin on Smash Brothers. For your for your directional smash attacks, you just tap to your character's right or left.
But because like after they shut off freaking the 3DS store as well, or whatever it is, I forget. Like, I feel like people could have more fun with Tomodachi Life, for example. That's a freaking series that got left in the dust.
Yeah, but it somehow got a Smash stage. Tomodachi Life, I never really understood the appeal of, other than for becoming a game of shitpost, you know?
It's for that. That's the appeal.
Yeah, because I mean,
Like
it's,
it, like
all right,
even
I'm gonna make
even
memes
like
of Bill O'Reilly and I don't know Stephen Colbert and whatever. I'm gonna make them make out, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, oh, here's a song that's I don't know, Brad Pitt singing about Satan. I have made a Tomodachi character that is his face is literally just an anus. Like, I don't think this is what Nintendo intended, guys.
I just liked how stupid the things could get. For example, I feel like what they intend for it to be is to be actually a shitposting machine, but instead of the shitposting machine featuring Brad Pitt singing about Satan and shit, it would be a shitposting machine between 5-year-olds, freaking making each other sing about poop or something.
That
I
might
don't
have
freaking
been
know. I'm not Nintendo.
that might have been a thought there, but I think that there was a genuine effort to try and make it like a casual. Oh, it's a life simulator that you fill with people you know and make goofy situations. Now they knew there was going to be some laughing. There's going to be some laughs with putting the characters in ridiculous situations, but I think they thought they were actually onto something like with a pseudo Sims type game. You know?
Yeah. Another
I mean,
game
the
that
thing
I
is, we have
actually
to keep
like.
in mind
Yeah.
Japan does not have the sense for people are going to use this game to make stupid bullshit as much. You know?
Yeah.
Japan
Wait.
expects more out of its customers than American games do.
There's also that other game that followed up Tomodachi Life that was a lot like it. The RPG one for the 3DS that was pretty fun.
I do not remember it.
Let me look it up because I freaking. All I remember is that I made or D&D characters in it, and then made the boss Heihachi.
Nah.
Because the story for it was that you could make different you made every single character in the world, and then that these three unfolded.
That sounds like a really interesting concept, actually.
Yeah, it was a really good game for this sort of stuff. Because the game starts off with you having to make every character, importing them from the Mii shop or whatever the hell it was, and yeah. Then the story gets told to you, and so that's how people ended up with, I don't know, like Michael Jackson giving them money,
Ha.
or like what was it, Princess Peach, flirting with them.
Nah. I think that's probably the most. That's probably the most underappreciated possibility of the new random generation tech that video games use now, is what they can do for stories, you know?
Yeah.
Shadow of Mordor was onto it, but it hasn't taken it to its fullest extent yet. It's getting closer with each game. Shadow of War was mediocre, at least partially because of the microtransactions, but also because holy shit, that game is probably the only game in existence I can think of where there is too much content.
Metopia.
Metopia. I think I might have heard of that at some point.
Here's the Nintendo link that I could find. It is $40. Holy shit, that it's not worth $40.
Nintendo is awful at lowering their prices.
Yes.
I do not know what Nintendo's whole thing is about thinking that their first party games are so damn valuable, you know? But
So yeah, that game has a lot of Oh right, there's also like a Good Wizard, and I'm pretty sure that I saw at least one person use Reggie Fils-Aime for it. And it's like whenever you level up, Reggie Fils-Aime talks with you through a pendant, and then he shows up for sometimes.
okay, I'm imagining Good Wizard
gives you
Reggie
power.
Fils-Aime gives you a big buff to make you prepared for the final fight, and then he just says, "Your body is ready."
And that could work since he's actually the twist boss.
Yeah. Well, then it becomes a Vegeta kind of situation where he made you stronger so that you'd be harder to fight. But yeah, it actually seems to be a pretty good service. I'm probably going to be playing a lot of NES games over the next coming weeks.
Nice.
And keeping going along, because I did a shit ton of stuff this weekend. I also played Crackdown 2 with you guys. I had a lot of fun. That is a game that is nothing but pure, mindless, dumb destruction and police brutality. Addie,
let's be fair.
About how the game was goalless, right? Aimless.
Yeah, I guess.
The entire
I guess that's
time,
the best way to put it.
I was chasing after agility orbs, and you were just beating up civilians. The vast variety of collectibles is fun to chase after when you're with friends. With that said, I can easily see how that'd be a pain in the ass for single player. And Crackdown 2, I think, is one of the earliest examples of free roam game bloat. You know?
It's nothing but bloat.
Yeah. Because, I mean, this was before Ubisoft was riding that train as hard as possible. And Warner Brothers was doing it with Mad Max and Shadow and all them. Then there was Grand Theft Auto 5, which somehow wound up having not enough content in its single player. So, go figure there. But it feels like an artifact of its time to a certain degree. Which is part of why Crackdown 3 is a bizarre game to me, because it feels like it's in the wrong time period. Anyone else notice that with Crackdown 3's whole thing going in?
I didn't even play Crackdown 3.
No, I didn't play it either. But
no, actually, I lie. I played Crackdown 3.
And you hated it.
No, I looked at the menu. I spawned and I looked at the menu. I tried shooting people. I saw that the aiming was full on aim assist and you couldn't turn it off, and then I uninstalled the game.
Well, see, the auto aim assist, the full aim assist, the full just complete lock on one hand, that's really dumb because the game does not get to have any shooting elements. At the same time, at one point in Crackdown 2, I was jumping between buildings and mid-jump, turned around, shot a guy in the head with a sniper rifle, and then turned back around to land on the building, and it was the coolest thing ever.
But yeah, but it would have been cool if it actually required skill.
You have a point. It's not really that impressive when you know that I basically cheated for it. Yeah. With that said, I don't know if I'm ever going to properly get back into Crackdown 2. I thought it was a lot of fun with friends. I feel like it's going to be a lot less fun by myself, you know?
Absolutely.
Let's see. I had a sort of mini movie marathon. I watched 3 movies? movies, I think I've watched 3 movies this week. I watched Office
Ooh.
Space, Fistful of Dollars, and Caddyshack. And each of these movies I was watching for the first time.
Wow.
So I'll go in order of the ones I watched. Office Space is a little movie by Mike Judge, who you may know as the creator of Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, and Idiocracy. Office Space is about, well, as you can imagine, an office.
Yeah.
And it came out
That's
in
his face.
It came out in 99, before the British version of The Office. So it beat out the American version of The Office as well. And as someone who personally never liked The Office as a show, admittedly, I've probably watched the wrong episodes. I think one of us here is a fan of The Office, aren't it? Is Pink, are you the one that's the big fan of The Office here?
I've never seen The Office.
Okay. Addy?
Nope. I don't watch TV, so it would be
Yeah.
hard.
Volcano?
Oh no. I've never actually seen it.
Okay, well,
You'll be the big fan of The Office all along.
yeah, all one episode. I watched the first episode of The Office, and it struck me as the kind of cringe comedy where the comedy is that there's nothing funny happening. Where the cringe is just, it's a bunch of awkward people being awkward around each other, and that's the joke. And they're not even doing anything weird to make the situation awkward, it's just that each of them are inherently awkward people. And they're all staring at the camera dead on. And they're just... Which, I mean, to the thing's credit, it's actually, the camera is, it's one of the rare cases where the camera exists in universe, because it's supposed to be the idea is that a documentary crew wanted to film them to get a good look at everyday, white-collar job life, right? But they're all staring at the camera. There was very little dialogue except to each other, and usually what the dialogue was, a person acts kind of dickish, and then the other person just kind of shrugs their shoulders, and that's the show. And I came out of that like, you know what? Maybe the later episodes are good. I have no interest in getting invested in this show to get to that point. Like, Parks and Rec, to my understanding, the first season was quite similar to that, which is why it's a good thing I wound up skipping the first 2 seasons of Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed Office Space. It's along roughly the same ideas of dealing with the mundanity of the office life. Though Office Space is a lot more cynical about office life, but at the same time kind of more optimistic about people. It's ultimately about a guy who is very stressed by his day-to-day work. His girlfriend who is cheating on him takes him to a therapist, a psychotherapist, who hypnotizes him to not care about things. And he's supposed to end the trance, but he then promptly dies of a heart attack before he can end the trance. So the idea is that the guy who was previously stressed about his work now suddenly does not care about anything. So he breaks up with his girlfriend that's cheating on him. He genuinely just stops showing up to work and all that. And initially, it seems like that's the plot of the movie, is a guy just stops showing up to work. And the movie probably wouldn't have been great if it were that. It instead turns up to a thing. He shows up to work one day so he can get all of his stuff that he left there. And he gets called in because they have job consultants there who are there to try and figure out who needs to be fired because they're trying to cut down on people there. And he goes into the interview with the consultants not wearing his uniform, just dressed in like rags, flannel, and it's covered in stains. And he's pretty much wearing sweatpants. And his face is all messed up, and his hair is all messed up. And he goes in, and he gives the most casual interview of, I do not give a shit about my job. No matter what I do, every single thing I do to contribute at this job, I get absolutely shut down by my 8 different bosses. And the times that I do screw up, I get hamstrung by my 8 different bosses, alongside several of my coworkers. Nothing gets done around here. I don't give a shit. I have legitimately not showed up to work in the last week. And then his 2 best friends, who are also co-workers at the office, come in and give big displays on why they're great and really help around the place. And then it turns out that the consultants really liked our main character, who is a lazy piece of shit and is going to fire his friends, but insists that he needs a promotion because he's management material. Now, despite the main character being something of a lazy piece of shit, he recognizes the injustice of this. He recognizes the injustice of this fact and cracks a plan with the other two to implant a virus into the office's computer mainframe to shave off and steal money from the company. And yes, that is a fairly scummy thing. They do talk about that quite a bit. And hijinks ensue.
I didn't know they made a movie about me.
That Addy, that implies that your friends are harder workers than you are.
They probably are. I mean, at this point in my life, they probably are. Then again, I would require friends for that, so...
Addy, if you are stealing money from the company, where the hell is it going?
I have pockets.
So, Office Space has a wide majority of gags and gifs that come from it. That it's the kind of movie where you'll watch it and you're like, oh, that's where that reference is from. So everybody's seen the meme of the jackass office boss, right? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to come in on Saturday, okay?
Yeah.
He's got the mug and the damn suspenders and the glasses. That's him. He's the closest thing the movie has to an antagonist. And the actor does a really good job just being deadpan the entire movie. Even when awful things happen to him, like his car getting towed, or the money being stolen, or the employees just utterly ignoring him, he, no matter what, is always like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to stop doing that, okay? We've got the main character's neighbor and best friend, who is a goofy hick who lives a very simple lifestyle. And he's played by Diedrich Bader. Diedrich Bader is one of my favorite... we've all got our actors that are like C level, but we love. And every time we see them in a movie, we're like, oh, it's him, yeah, my guy. Diedrich Bader is one of my guys. Now, let's see. Have any of you ever watched The Drew Carey Show?
Nope.
Okay. I might have seen an episode over here and there.
Well, in that, he was Drew Carey's friend with the black balding hair. Now, where Pink is going to recognize him, he was Batman in Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Okay.
Yeah. For serious Batman, he's not my... Kevin Conroy is my favorite serious Batman. Diedrich Bader is my favorite comedic Batman.
Right.
Because, I mean, the guy they got playing him in the Lego movies, what's his name? Will something? Will
Arnett.
Will Arnett. I appreciate Will Arnett. He does a good job. He's going too hard. He does it too hard, you know?
Right.
Diedrich Bader eases it back enough so that you can still somewhat take him seriously at times, which makes it funnier when something ridiculous does happen to him.
Right.
And he, in Office Space, is hilarious for all two of the scenes he gets. The cast also includes Jennifer Aniston, oddly enough. And she does pretty well, and I'm ordinarily not a fan of her. There's one particular character. You guys ever heard about the red swing line stapler from that movie?
The red stapler?
The red stapler.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the subplots is there's a character, Milton, who's played by Stephen Root. And Stephen Root is, did any of you watch Get Out?
Nope.
No, but I meant to.
Did any of you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I did not.
Okay, since Volcano's going to be the only one to know who Stephen Root is. You know Boyle's dad?
Yeah.
Okay, so he plays Milton, and he's the meek, nerdy guy in the group. And every line he says, he talks like this, he repeats himself, he mutters a lot, he talks like this, with my red line stapler. And a whole subplot of the movie is the boss antagonizing him, and that's a great big comedic thing, because Stephen Root does a hilarious job as the meek office worker getting bullied by the boss. It's a really fun comedy. And it doesn't shy away from getting serious when it needs to. I mean, it is a Mike Judge comedy, so of course, you know, the guy who made Idiocracy and King of the Hill does have some things to say. And despite its the way it begins, by the end of the movie, I think it has a pretty good theme to it, a pretty good moral to it. I thought it was a really good movie. I can see why it's a cult classic. And then going into Fistful of Dollars, the first movie in the Clint Eastwood Dollars trilogy. And while I consider myself a Western fan, it's partially just because of modern Western stuff, which is not really what people think of when they think of Westerns, you know? So I think this Fistful of Dollars is actually the first Clint Eastwood Western I've ever watched. And yeah, it was a really good classic movie. It's not one of, like, you know how a lot of Westerns have aged very poorly in certain ways?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Particularly when they're really racist or sexist. Yeah, no, not here. Like, there are a couple things of this classic spaghetti Western. You know the spaghetti Western trope where a guy gets shot and then he does like 3 spins, falls over backwards, lands on his head, lands back on his feet, does 3 more spins, and then falls over and dies?
Yes, I remember when Neville was in Westerns.
Yeah. Oh no, it's worse than Neville. It's Dolph Ziggler. It's bad. It's in full force there. And sometimes it can take you out of a scene real bad. There's one particular case where a guy falls over a barrel backwards, and he stays that way, laid over a barrel backwards, and there's a drama scene where a character is giving a little speech while that guy is laid over backwards on that barrel, very clearly played by a still living actor. And he just has his mouth hanging wide open, even though his face is hanging upside down. And it looks hilariously dumb. So it was kind of that weird era of film where, for some reason, there's things that would happen, and they looked really dumb. And anyone could observe that they looked really dumb, but they just left it in. I don't know what it is about old film that does that. But it's Clint Eastwood's main character there. I never really understood why everybody's like, "Oh yeah, Clint Eastwood, the man with no name. What a great hero for your Western flick." And I was like, he's just a tough guy who doesn't speak very much. He's actually a really fun character. At least partially because he doesn't always solve things by shooting them. There's lots of moments where he solves things by manipulating the hell out of everyone involved. I was not expecting there to be a whole lot of playing gangs against each other and that kind of thing in this movie. But there was a lot of it. It's a fun Western that comes up with creative solutions to problems, which is something I've noticed changed a lot regarding Western action movies altogether. And I don't mean Westerns as in cowboy Westerns, I just mean Westerns as in like American and European and all that. Have you guys ever noticed that a lot of the times the conflict, when there's a particularly big villain, the conflict is usually resolved by just having an outside force interfere? It's never that the protagonist came up with a new, clever way to beat the guy, or the protagonist got better, or trained, or anything. It's always that, like, oh, someone else just showed up and shot the guy in the back. Anyone else notice that? I don't know, maybe it's just me. But it's a fun Western movie. It does have some goofiness from the another bit of old goofiness. You know how in old movies they like to dub people for some reason?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really funny because they only had 2 voice actors. So you hear him talk to himself a lot in that movie. And a part that is kind of aged poorly. It's set in Mexico. Movie was filmed in America or Italy, set in Mexico. That means there's a lot of white actors and brown face in that movie. Ooh, that's all I'm going to say about that. But, yeah, otherwise, very well-structured movie. I'm going to try and look into watching the other 2 movies in the Dollars trilogy if I can. And the third movie I watched was Caddyshack. And I'm going to question if anyone here has seen Caddyshack. I'm going to assume Pink has.
I've seen it.
I've seen it.
I literally don't remember anything about it outside of Bill Murray appearing once or twice.
Okay, Volcano, what do you remember out of it?
I watched it like 2 years ago, so I remember some of it.
Okay, Addie, have you ever watched Caddyshack?
Nope.
No? Cut me off right there. Nope. You already know what I'm saying. So, Caddyshack is really overrated. And I'm dead now. I know that, but I mean... any movie where, like, people say it's one of the greatest comedy films, and there are a lot of parts I liked, by all means, but I would hesitate to call any movie great if you could cut out half the film and nothing of value would be lost. The entirety of the main plot with the dipshit teen caddy, cut it out. Cut it out. This is one of those movies where I want someone to make a fan edit. I don't know if Addie's sitting there like waiting for a movie to edit. There's one for you. Cut out any scene that doesn't have Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, Ted Knight, or Rodney Dangerfield. Because those are the only good parts.
Nah, man, I'm ready to take on the music ads. I don't want to freaking deal with the bloody movie people
Yeah.
and their copyright shit. Like I'm fine getting leached off of by the music people because at least they have a claim.
Yeah. But yeah, the main plotline of Caddyshack, I did not know going in. When I heard about Caddyshack, I always assumed it was a movie about Bill Murray being a dipshit groundskeeper, and also Rodney Dangerfield, Ted Knight, and Chevy Chase are there, right? Those are the only parts people will tell you about, the Bill Murray parts. No, Bill Murray gets like maybe a tenth of the film to himself, and just to himself. He shares one scene with Chevy Chase and one scene with Ted Knight. That's it. Every other scene in the movie that Bill Murray's in, it's him by himself or fighting a ghost. Not Ghostbusters.
He's fighting Ghost Dad.
He's fighting a puppet of a gopher.
Do you know who Ghost Dad is?
John Belushi?
That was because no, it's Cosby.
Cosby.
Like,
he's not dead yet.
No, but he actually played the Ghost Dad in Ghost Dad, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I know he did. I didn't know you were linking it back to that, of all things. But the... oh, jeez. I coughed there and snot shot out of my nose, so give me just a moment. But yeah, the majority of the film focuses on a young caddy who is about 20-ish, but suspiciously close to underage, and how he is confused and doesn't know what to do with his life, and now he's trying to kiss up to his boss, played by Ted Knight, to get a scholarship. And it's just all very typically boring, coming-of-age movie. And to my understanding, that's actually what Harold Ramis wanted to make. But then so much of the movie got taken over by the Big Four that it turned into an entirely different beast altogether. And Harold Ramis, God rest his soul, he was wrong. If the movie was just about the coming of age of a caddy, it would have sucked.
Yeah.
The Big Four, on one hand, this is probably the only Bill Murray movie I've ever seen where Bill Murray doesn't play Bill Murray. Where he's actually playing a character. It was astounding to witness. To see Bill Murray not being sarcastic in literally every scene. Not being the smartass who is never the butt of the joke. Chevy Chase, on the other hand, he's Chevy Chasing it up. Good old Chevy Chase, 80% sarcasm, 20% being a dope. When you go in on this is Chevy Chase. And Rodney Dangerfield is just being Rodney Dangerfield. He's going in there and he's over the top slapstick in a movie that otherwise doesn't have too much over the top slapstick. Except in his and Bill Murray's scenes. But they're still funny doing it. So, I mean, I guess it works. If it works, it works. And I mean, this was early enough in Chevy Chase's career that I wouldn't really criticize him for sticking to form, because he hadn't really established his form until that movie, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Knight was an absolute delight because he just had over-the-top angry reactions to everything, and that's one of my favorite comedic characters, the stuffy asshole that reacts to everything with pure, unadulterated rage, you know? But the caddy storyline just drags the movie down so bad, and in so many weird ways. There's a lot of sex scenes in Caddyshack. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I remember those.
I don't remember those.
Yeah, we were watching it, and halfway through, our mom's like, "Why are we still watching this?"
I believe it.
Yeah, and I was like, you're the one who turned it on."
So we start off with the teen caddy nailing his girlfriend, and it's like, okay, didn't want to see this, especially considering these characters are really young. And then we cut to Chevy Chase sleeping with some young, old money type girl, right? Some trust fund girl. And it's like, all right, did not want to see Chevy Chase sex scene ever in my life, but here I am. And then the teen caddy's sleeping with the old money trust fund girl, and it's like, wait a second. Is she older than him, in which case it's creepy, or is she younger than Chevy, in which case it's creepy? Because there's clearly a 15-year age gap between Chevy and the caddy. And this is one of those movies where the protagonist is an ass, and he never pays the consequences for being an ass. So that pissed me off. He cheats on his girlfriend, who seems to be a fairly loyal individual. That pissed me off. I really don't like that fucking caddy kid.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I was told ahead of time that the ending of Caddyshack is everything blows up and everyone dies. And I was like, oh, thank God, once I saw that caddy kid. Which, by the way, false. No one dies.
Yeah.
All the good people die.
Yeah. To their credit, everything does blow up, but no, the ending is not everyone dies. In fact, I think the final line of the movie is Rodney Dangerfield yelling, "Hey, everybody's gonna get laid!" Which I was like, oh, please God, get me out of here now. Thank you.
Roll credits.
I don't want to see Rodney Dangerfield in there. I've already seen one middle-aged man in there. I don't want to see Rodney Dangerfield. Thankfully, it rolls credits. Before we have to see that, especially considering the crowd that Rodney Dangerfield is yelling to is mostly comprised of old people. That movie has not aged well in several regards, but one that particularly hits me is there's a part where they're at a pool and a male character has his shorts ripped off and he's supposed to be naked underneath. Now, in the old camera resolutions, I'm sure that the kid looked naked. Yeah, not in the new camera resolutions. You can very clearly see he is just wearing flesh-colored underwear underneath those boxers. I don't know. The Bill Murray parts were fun. The Rodney Dangerfield and Ted Knight parts were less fun. And the Chevy Chase parts were even less fun, but at least they were all fun. The caddy parts, fuck that. Don't want any part of that. No. Nothing. Oh, and guess what? We are at a grand 3 hours and 50 minutes. I have not talked about Devil May Cry 5 yet.
Oh no.
I just turned for another backcone because we're not gonna be leaving for a bit.
I feel like just not talking about Devil May Cry 5 now. But there's so much to talk about, but I don't want to talk about it.
We're almost at 4 hours.
Oh, this is gonna take forever to export.
Let me go back up so I can repost this image.
Oh no!
Do you want to save it for next week? Because we would also have to discuss Captain Marvel, and Like, that could put another hour on this.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's just save it for next week. Let's just
All
save
right.
it. Tune in next week, folks, for the Devil May Cry 5 and Captain Marvel cast. It is
Dig
smart.
it.
It is smarter to save Devil May Cry 5 for next week because I'm probably going to go through the higher difficulties. So yeah,
Right.
it makes more sense.
I still didn't find it. Shit.
Well, Addy, you went from having an hour to finding it to have 5 minutes to find it. So, Godspeed, man.
When did I make the book edit?
The book edit?
Yeah,
What's the book edit?
the FOS and how to turn 6-hour podcast into 3 days.
Did you not put that in the forum Solitude thread?
No, I don't think I did.
I'm going ahead and going through right now and just saving all the pictures that we've got for the podcast. We've reached that stage where it's like, all right, editing begins now. We haven't even finished recording, but it begins now.
At least you can cut yourself editing into
Yeah.
the freaking thing.
This is a meta podcast.
Yeah. So which one's worse? This one or last week's?
Well, I mean, in what regard? In terms of how many pictures I'm going to have to put in?
Well,
Because look at this.
I have it.
Going from Dwarf Fortress to Samurai Cats, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pictures I got added in, so I think that's more than normal. Outside of that 1 week where I had a dumbass idea of showing you guys a bunch of Devil May Cry designs, just... That one was entirely my fault and no one else's.
Well, I have yet to find that picture, but I have found that one time where we freaking did rap code with the TTS.
Okay, Addy, I hope you're proud of me. So I saved that image of Mario putting the needle up Donkey Kong's ass. You know what I named it?
Yeah.
Expand Dong.
Ah.
Okay. Find it, you bastard. Let's get this podcast over with.
Just continue and I'll post it whenever I find it.
It must end. We don't have anything else to continue it with.
Wait, aren't you going to do freaking Captain Marvel this week?
No, we're doing it next week.
We're
because
saving
there's
it
too
for
much...
next week.
We're near 4 hours of recording, Addy.
Alright, whatever, just send it.
Just end it.
End the thing.
Okay. Give me just a moment. Oh, man.
To be concluded.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
wait a bit. I didn't find it, but I found this.
Oh, good. Another picture I need to edit. Okay, give me a
Yeah.
moment to get the timestamp. Pain. All right, shoot. Oh, we had that on a previous podcast,
So we made a freaking book one.
and we had the fucking Last Guardian rocket.
This is a rerun.
A lot of throwbacks today, folks. With
I-
Bowser's crazy eyes.
Oh man, it's incredible how quickly your memory fries regarding this show, isn't it? Because how many times have we talked about the same shit? Or how many times have I talked about the same stuff? Right?
Right.
Because that happens constantly when one of you guys bring up some game you played and you're like, oh, well, here's this thing we never talked about on the podcast. I'm going to get in depth about it. The further in depth I get about the subject, the worse I feel. Like, it feels like, okay, I feel like I'm repeating myself a little bit here. I'm beginning to think I'm repeating myself. You know what? I am definitely repeating myself. Oh, Jesus. Well, that's 3 hours and like 55 minutes worth of podcast, folks. I hope you enjoy sitting through all that. Addie, say bye.
Now it is 4 hours.
Now it is 4. He's sitting it out just so we'll have that 4 hours. Addie, you
All your
won't get a
time now
record.
belong to us.
This isn't even going to make records. Because we recorded like a 5-hour podcast back when Mike was on here. Now it's just pain without reason.
I can wait.
This is a podcast. Folks, we will see you later.